Grand day, yo.
Hello, peace, peace, peace.
Get your thinking glasses on.
Were you guys in class last week?
Yes, I'm in class almost every Thursday.
Oh, okay. What did you guys go over? I'm new to the room, so I'm still just clicking away in the One Nation.
Me too. Did you find the document to work with for today?
Ooh, that was a struggle.
It's in the discovery section.
Let's see. Do I recognize? No, I don't recognize nobody.
He's saying he's going to go over the enforcement letter?
That's what I believe Jason said in one of the postings that's there in the discovery. It was done 6 days ago.
Okay, thanks. Well, Jason also said that he's cut off ties with that guy. I don't know if you've heard that.
I think I heard it on one of his video.
I believe he did, but I'm thinking that we're still going over the letter with Black Swan.
Are you
Oh,
referring to the 15-page document that I saw?
Yes,
On
that's
the
the one, or 14 page. It's
14.
it says
Okay.
it says enforcement letter gift.
Yes, yes. It looks like a rental contract of some sort. Am I correct?
Yes, and
Okay.
what the disconnect about that is when Jason's learned that he was renting, he's like, how could this guy have what he says he has? I mean, people do rent. They don't want the headache of home ownership, but it was a real disconnect for him.
Yeah. Because the way,
If
I
you
don't
run
know. Mhm.
if you run your estate in a correct manner, your estate should hold your property and you rent your property from your estate. That is the correct way that you should be operating. That way you're not actively the owner, because then the owner is your ministry or estate, and then you rent from them to create an income. That way it's not just an asset, it's a profit earning asset.
Well, if you're the caretaker and you own it outright, like this guy should, if he's able to discharge everything, then why are you renting from yourself? I mean, I don't get that. I
No,
I've
no,
I've been
you rent it to yourself. You're
well,
renting your own property to yourself. So
but if
you put the property in a holding company, and then your private entity rents it, and that creates it to be a profit in your asset portfolio.
okay, interesting side note.
Because that's what the estate attorney that I worked with up in Massachusetts did with for a lot of his people. Things were in a private revocable express trust, and they would make an area for the property to be an actual business, because your estate still needs to generate, um, as it seems, but then you rent it to yourself, because your holding property is not going to be the same name as your living
Right.
being.
Of
So
course.
in my case, Christina Burns would rent from CC Burns for You Ministries.
I get that, but it just seems like you're putting, it's just about moving funds around. That, so,
It's to keep the government from being able to take your stuff, yes. And
yeah.
so that you look like, so that you also look like you're holding a benefit instead of a detriment, because some houses are mousetraps.
Oh, yeah.
So when you hold it in through a holding company and then be the leaser, right? Leasee, then you create and generate a cycle that, like he was talking about the 3-year cycle there, it's kind of like that, but you're using it in a property manner to show that you pay a bill on time and all that, so it builds your credit, and then at the same time you're building asset.
I get what you're saying.
That might be what he had with having it being a rental agreement, because
Well-
and especially being that many pages, because I haven't had a chance to go over it yet. I just got in from work. So I'm wondering, did he have to have special clauses against the trust so that he didn't not blur, what is it called there? Commingle. He may have had to have extra clauses, because I've never seen a 14-page lease agreement. So I'm wondering if those clauses happen to be to protect the asset from the liability. Because if you own property, you don't want to own it and hold it. You want to have it in a holding company, because if someone goes to sue you, they can take your home. But if your trust also holds your home, if someone gets hurt at your home, if it's in its separate trust, it protects you even further.
Absolutely.
You have to create all these layers like onions so that they can't see you, they can't touch you. That's how the elite
Not
operate. That's why they're
exactly, though.
untouchable.
Hey, how's
No, I don't have all the details. I'm still learning it, a lot of
Okay.
it, but
Yeah.
that way,
you're getting there, but you got to be careful with what owns what, because whatever
right.
owns something, right, they take the liability. So if you have a trust owning something, right, without any sort of middleman in between, or like a middle entity in between the trust and the property, that trust will be the one who gets sued. You don't want that.
Right.
You never want your trust in a lawsuit. You don't want them to be able to even touch your trust. You want them to have to go through layers of bullshit entities before they can even reach it. And by that time,
And is
it's
that
so
why?
fucking...
Is that why they're saying? Is that why they're saying to make the property an LLC?
Yeah. That's well, okay. So that's called what the fuck, an LLC wrap, or LLC wrapper. You know, it's when you have a land
Right.
trust, but really the owner of it is the land trust, but the managing entity who controls the day-to-day leases it from the trust, right? The trust
And that's what I
leases
was
it to the
wondering.
managing entity.
And that's what I was wondering with that gentleman's document being a 14-page lease agreement. Was
That's
he
not that long.
protecting
I've
himself?
seen some really long ones.
Wow, I've never seen one.
Yeah, I've seen some ridiculous ones. But I mean,
Well, I was just
14
wondering if
pages
it was
isn't
so
that
long
bad.
because it maybe had clauses to protect himself from any liability. Because they
I
were
mean,
saying
you
that
can
if
have
he rented,
clauses,
he
but
didn't own his property. But I said you
yeah,
can own your property and rent it from yourself, and so that's what I was wondering if he did.
yeah, you can. You can definitely do that. That's 100% accurate. But the 14 pages is really not that long of a lease agreement. Some can be very long. I've seen some like almost 50 pages. Like that's just residential. Like if you want to get into commercial leasing, like we're talking like an easy 50, 80 pages for that lease. Not always, but yeah, they can get, because there's a lot of clauses, you know, a lot of different aspects to indemnify, especially if it's a commercial entity. That's typically, comes into play. Now, the thing about trying to tie in liability protections within a lease when it comes to like dealing with, consumers or like renters, if it's not yourself and you rent it to someone else, there's nothing you can put in that fucking contract that'll give you no liability because every single state has landlord-tenant laws that if you are renting a fucking home to the public, most states require you to be licensed, not all, but most. And then also, they all have the same statutory clauses that make it so if you are renting it out to anybody in the public and they so happen to be or you so happen to be like negligent or like not keeping up with the habitability of the house, there's nothing you can put in that fucking that lease agreement that'll indemnify you from such action. You better just have really good insurance at that point if you're a landlord, you know. But you know, yeah. I mean, there's ways around it, of course, but like typically, like just direct like that, yeah, you're fucked. There's no way around that shit. I could destroy the shit out of like almost any lease agreement just by attacking it with public policy. A lot of people think that, you know, they can contract whatever they want and it'll stand up. I guarantee I can reverse that bitch in a court. That's for sure. You know? The enforceability
Now,
of a contract is very important.
if they're operating in the private, does the court have jurisdiction? I'm just
Fuck
learning
yeah, they
about
do.
things like that.
Hell yeah, they
Okay.
do. The court has jurisdiction over anybody within the boundaries of the territory that they govern. Sadly. Trust me. I don't agree with this shit either. It just is what it is. They don't give a fuck. They do this shit by force. These guys are the mafia. I think we know that, right? Are we in a line with that? Because
Yeah.
they are the mafia. They
No,
don't fuck
no.
around. You know what I mean?
Well, I was just wondering because my aunt's property is controlled by my two cousins and it's falling in disarray and behind in taxes, and I want to be able to take it from them and
You can.
get it clear.
Yeah, you can do that. If it's
My
falling
name is
behind in taxes,
my name is
you
in
pay
the
the
airship
taxes.
of it.
Huh?
It's like 300. They're behind like 300,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a pretty
and
penny. Holy shit.
but someone said that there's a
$300,000 in
way
taxes?
that because my aunt built the land, that she owns the land, and that I should find the deed, and that the town shouldn't have the right to charge taxes on something they never had control over.
What state is it in? That'll tell you right away.
Ma-
If you can.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, no, you're fucked. So the only so let me go back a little bit more in detail here. Why I say that, right? Because then I can say that all day long and like not even explain, but that's pointless, right? Well, the reason why I say you're fucked is because remember like last year or the year before, I think it was the year before that, actually 2024 maybe, when Ron DeSantis was trying to like eliminate property taxes in Florida. Is anyone aware of that? Remember that? Recall that?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, cool. So, yes, he was trying to do that, but one of the main things he said, the only way they could do that, right, is if they had an allodial land clause within the Constitution. They would have to amend the Constitution and add in an allodial land clause within there. Any state that does not have an allodial land clause within their Constitution, it'll be hard as fuck to be able to defeat them on that. I mean, you can do it, don't get me wrong. I mean, anything's possible, but you know, it's a lot harder to defeat the municipality when it comes to the land when there's no allodial title, because if you don't know what I talk about this shit all the time, but the annexation agreements, right? You guys aware of annexation agreements?
Yes.
No.
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
Got some no's.
No.
All right. So annexation agreements are okay. Let me go back. So are you guys aware of what happened during the Reconstruction era with the 10th Amendment of the Constitution?
No.
Okay, where the Supreme Court granted the states or interpreted the 10th Amendment, allowing the states broad police powers.
No,
You
I
know,
never heard that.
Oh wow, that's very important because this is kind of like how they exercise their power and authority over people, but really they're supposed to be doing it mainly, only actually strictly, for the welfare of the people, for the public safety and welfare of the people, like specifically. Like that's where they have grounds as long as they're doing that, right? But they obviously abuse the shit out of that. So that's one thing. I mean, I wanna. It'd be great to overturn that shit. But anyways, no. Yeah. So the police powers in late 1800s. Don't know the case right off the top of my head. But whatever. Late 1800s, the police powers that was granted to the states allowed them to pretty much start annexing the land through zoning, right? So before that, it was a lot of unincorporated land. The municipal corporations started springing up after them. Heavy. I mean, there was companies, right? There was always companies. Historically, there was always a company, typically that ran the area's trade or commerce, whatever. This goes all the way back to the West India. I think it's East West India Trading Company, whatever. Whatever the fuck those people are. I haven't slept much this week, so you got to give me a break. I've been working like a motherfucker. But yeah. So, anyways, kind of spacey, but anyways, the fucking the municipalities started obtaining annexation agreements because the states, once they received those police powers, they were able to start zoning out the land, or AKA incorporating the land. So you'll see a lot of areas starting to change names because they were blending into counties. Before they were like townships, and then they ended up starting to blend into counties, right? What happened is annexation under international law. Of course, they don't say this in domestic law, but under international law, annexation is a military force of taking over someone else's land. Which, I mean, if you can just see what they did, it's kind of obvious, right? But they changed the definition within the United States. It's kind of irrelevant what the definition is here, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can look it up for you. I don't even remember what the fuck the definition here. It's so pointless, but I'll look it up just cause, you know what I mean? Fuck it. But yeah, no, they started annexing the land, and within the metes and bounds of the corporate municipality to zone and govern. So that means the police were starting to be able to patrol around those areas. Because back before they had like the police departments and shit, it was literally just the sheriffs mainly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what fucked all that up is the Police Powers Act. Actually, the Ku Klux Klan Act is what really set that off, like initially. But following that, the police power grant, it was all a fucking rig. If you look into the history of the Supreme Court during that time era, and it's interesting because before the Civil War, right, it was stacked on our side, right, to the people. It was heavily in favor for the people. During the Civil War, I can't remember if it was just altogether 6 out of 9 ended up either retiring or dying throughout the Civil War. Just that era, that time era. And then what they did is they obviously stacked in all the same people, from the same party, all at the same time, but they added 2 additional seats to the Supreme Court. So then, yeah, it was heavily stacked. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like why, I mean, it's rigging. It's rigging the court in reality. And like, nobody has touched those decisions from that era, even though like they definitely should have been well overturned by now. Especially because how are you going to fucking interpret just 1/3 out of the entire 10th Amendment? You know what I'm saying? You're going to leave out the last part, or to the people, but then you're gonna grant the states all that power. Like, what the fuck? that was completely ridiculous, and that's literally why the administrative state has became so bad. Because also around that same time, you had all these associations pop up, like professional associations, like the bar, around the same time, right? Um, they started commercializing everything that used to be natural, if that makes sense. Like they didn't have control over it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they all were doing it all in the guise of the public welfare and you know, health and welfare and public safety bullshit. Well, yeah, no, the annexation agreements, you can look them up online actually. Well, I mean, I'm in Minnesota, so like that's where I found them at the Secretary of State office. In the official documents, they have postcards. They have some actual contracts, but majority of the files they have there online that digitized, they have the postcards. Which the postcards you have to you have to print it off or whatever, write it down, so then you know the exact citation shit to bring to the They store all their historical documentation at the Minnesota Historical Society.
Mm.
So you have to go over there with that postcard and tell them to pull it. And then they'll go and, grab the fucking documents and shit like that for you. And it's kind of cool because, like, sometimes you'll know no one's touched it in a long time because it'll be dusty as shit. You know?
Thanks.
And they don't digitize that shit either. Like, I think it's like 75% of the historical papers that Minnesota specifically have are not digitized. And it's all like, political papers between the parties, especially during the time of the Constitution, here specifically during the ratification and shit like that. And, after that as well. Because I've been trying to track down the allodial title, the origination of the allodial title in the Constitution.
Crazy as fuck, man. You like a real cook, like.
What? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if I was cutting out. Was I cutting out or some shit?
No,
No.
somebody's mic was open and they were talking.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so the annexation agreements, pretty much allowed them to. It's the main purpose of them is for zoning, for municipal zoning. So that's why, when you think of like how like they're obtaining like jurisdiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a big thing. Now, I mean, there's some loopholes in some states, but it's you have to dig through the bills. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to find them in the statutes, but you'll find them in the bill summaries, like the actual bills they pass. You know what I mean? Like the session laws. That's where the good law is. That's where you want to actually look because that is highly authoritative. So you know how the United States Code, I think Andrew was talking about this a little bit, non-positive and positive law, right? You guys remember that at all?
Yeah, we did
No,
that.
I don't know it.
We did that last night.
Mm-hmm. I know. I couldn't talk at the moment, and I wanted to so bad because it's so important. Okay, so non-positive and positive law. If it's non-positive law, it's just prima facie evidence of the law, meaning it can be rebutted by a higher authority. It's not an ultimate authority. It can still be used as evidence in court. However, a higher authoritative law can rebut that. So if you look at like the United States Code, right? A lot of the most loved or most talked about titles within that USC is actually not positive law. Like Title 15, it's not positive law. Title 12, I don't think is positive law. I don't think Title 31 is. I have to look it up. But 42 sure as fuck isn't. So everybody thinking that they're gonna like be able to leverage their 1982 claim under 42 USC, it's kind of like you're shooting yourself in the foot. There's a reason why only 11% of those those type of lawsuits actually even make it past the motion to dismiss phase. I mean, first of all, you have to literally sue the insurance before you can sue them in federal court. You always have to file a claim against the insurance first.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, not that many people know that. I was gonna tell Andrew that, like, when he was gonna file his, because I was gonna be like, oh wait, you missed something. What'd you miss? I was gonna use it as a learning exercise type shit.
Mm-hmm.
But things happened and I had to go sooner. But yeah, a lot of people don't realize that the claim that you're bringing, right, isn't necessarily a 1982 at first. It's a type of insurance claim under the public contract, which is positive law, by the way. And then you amend the complaint and add that in later. Kind of like punitive damages, right? The strategic value of that is literally just to survive the motion to dismiss phase, by the way. It's very important to know. Because the motion to dismiss phase is brutal. And I've never seen any pro se win a 1982, 1983, 1985, or 1987. Never, not one. So it's kind of shitty, but maybe they're just really good and the municipalities just settle, But it's a very complex issue to bring any type of municipality or government to court, because they're going to obviously try to leverage their alleged sovereign immunity. And they typically do, and that's typically how they're able to get them all dismissed, like almost every fucking time. That's like the first line of defense for them. But when you start to really study deeper and get underneath like the whole governing of the system and realizing that they're a hybrid entity, meaning, yes, they're a nonprofit, which is their government arm, where they provide services for free and they receive taxes, right? But they also have another arm of the government that's actually collecting income, right? Actual business income. And that's the proprietary arm of the government. And they commingled themselves into a single unit, and it's called a hybrid municipal entity. It's like this in every single municipality.
What do you mean with the for-profit arm? Because I get that the idea is they're collecting taxes and then distributing that out for infrastructure and schooling or whatever,
Okay,
emergency services, whatever.
So the
right?
jurisprudence, right? The jurisprudence of this, there's multiple cases that say this. So I looked it up, but whatever. So if a municipality is acting as a market participant, right? A market participant, that's one of the terminologies that is very important. Then they are not acting in a governmental capacity.
They all have a Dun and Bradstreet number.
Well, yeah, of course, they're all businesses.
Okay, but like
technically, they're
arena, like a city. They have a convention center and all that.
Yeah.
That would be a participant.
That'd be for profit. Yes, because anyone can build a convention center. If they conduct activities that anybody else could also do, they're being a market participant, and they don't have government immunity in that capacity. You just have to articulate that within the elements to break their sovereign immunity. Here's another example. They're a nonprofit. Okay, the government, like governments, are nonprofit entities. Just it's that simple. They have to file federal taxes. They all have EINs. They all have to file federal taxes, but they also all have to file unrelated business income taxes as well, and that's for their for-profit arms. You know what I'm saying? When they're conducting as a market participant, making business income, that's unrelated to their tax revenue because it's actually fee generation. There's a big difference between tax revenue and fee generation.
Mm.
Fees for services rendered, that is proprietary. Providing services for free and getting taxes to pay for those services, that is governmental. That's why they take so much money from the federal government. All the grants that they receive from the federal government every single year, that is their governmental arm. That's their nonprofit arm getting those grants. Right? And of course, they get to take administration fees out of the block grants before they hand it off to the other people.
95% administrative costs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually like 60%, sadly. Like
Wow.
actual number. It's fucked up. But yeah, that's to cover the overhead, you know, which they're billing for a lot more than what their overhead really is. And that's part of the whole fraud shit that they were discovering, you know. Like the Medicare, Medicaid, it has to do with the billing schemes that the states mainly are doing, and especially in some states are doing against the mandatory spending clauses within the mandatory appropriations. So when Congress has to borrow money, right? When they're doing their appropriations, that money that they're borrowing at that is not even anything to do with anything under a mandatory clause. If it's a mandatory clause, that means there is no appropriations. It's automatic, meaning no matter what they're borrowing for it, no matter what, if it's under the mandatory spending clause. So that's where a lot of the Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security funds that the states really have their hands deep into come from. It's the mandatory spending. And that's also why the fucking juvenile courts are so fucked. The family court system is so fucked because of this system and how they have those mandatory spending. Because if the county, you know, it's mainly on the county level at this aspect. If the counties are providing services, obviously, they're upcharging those services and taking a fucking fat check. And the federal government, by law, has to give it to them. They don't have a choice. And the Supreme Court has upheld that multiple times.
Can I ask a quick question?
Of course you can.
Are we going to touch upon the infinite credit portion at all during the call today, or are we going to?
Okay, so I'm gonna be touching that stuff on Saturdays.
Okay.
Okay.
And Thursdays is just Q&As. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I was told
Okay.
Thursday was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Johnson made a video detailing that, and maybe he misspoke on Thursdays because this is kind of like bring your legal troubles or
Yeah,
issues or
I
whatever.
just help people with if you have questions like
Yeah, I
got
was
you.
told that also.
Okay.
I mean, I
Okay.
guess if you got a direct question, that would be appropriate.
It's actually posted in the discovery section.
I don't know what.
Discovery section? Where's that? Or what do you?
On One Nation.
In One Nation, in the top section above live events is discovery. The first section is this gift of the paperwork and a
Enforcement
couple
letter.
things down on the 6 days back, it says where it's to be discussed with Black Swan.
Oh, okay.
That's why they're
I got
that's why
you.
we're confused.
All right,
Oh,
let me
I
see here.
see a couple things here. Yeah,
All right. Hold on. Let me
this is the enforcement
I'll
letter.
pull that fucker up. Give me a
I
second
have a
here.
question.
What's up?
I actually been trying to get the audio and the visual of that class that was on the first and second, but I just seem not to be able to. You know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to talk to Johnson about that one. I have
Yeah.
no control over that.
Yeah, I pretty much understand that. I'm just kind of curious because that's what we was told we would have access to, and that's actually been 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't had access. I haven't been
I
able
get it.
to listen to it or
Can
hear
I,
it.
can I, sir, can I say something that might bring some light? For
Please,
one,
man.
Black Swan said that he does financial things on Saturday, so maybe that's one thing that was a miscommunication. But there's also been ties broken with the man that did hold that course,
Definitely
and it
have.
may not be it may not be that he wants to put that information out there because he's not comfortable with it. So there may be something going on there because
Yeah, I
a lot
Yeah,
of us
understand.
that's
felt that
accurate.
it
So
was just
I
a
have
repeated
to,
information of what everyone already knew.
yeah, pretty much.
Respect to that, but that's not what I was told on my when I made the payment for that particular. I am very appreciative for everything that the whole team, your team, is doing, because it's all a part of everything. But that's not what was told for.
Sweetie, I'm in the same boat you are. I'm not part of any team. This is my first time here and I put $350 of my money in there too. So I understand exactly what you're saying, but you cannot change a situation that you don't have control over and neither do I. That's not part of this class. That is to deal with Mr. Johnson, and that's who you'd take that up with.
Okay,
Mhm.
yes, and I'll accept that. And but I just want to say one more thing. It was put in messages that it would be spoken about in this session. That's all I'll say. Thank you.
I was not told about that one, so I don't know what to tell you. But I'm gonna look at the this thing here right now, and then I'll pull it up on the fucking screen to see what's good.
I
Have you
have a
guys?
question.
Yeah, what's up? Go ahead.
I have a question about probate.
Perfect.
So I was in probate court earlier because my sister recently passed away, and I just wanted to get it like over with because it was about a settlement and all of that. But the judge asked me like, raise your right hand. I gotta swear you in. Do you promise to tell the truth, all of that? And then he was
Mhm.
like, are you aware of that? I mean, no, are you okay with me having jurisdiction over this hearing so we can move forward or something like that? I can't remember the terminology he used, but I just found it strange that he said, like, he asked me for permission for
Mhm.
jurisdiction.
Well, yeah. So what is your relation to the are you the executor now?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, that's why. Because you have the authority to move that case to a different court if you wanted to.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that was a respect thing. So he was showing you respect by doing that, by the way, because not all of them do that, but they're supposed to.
Okay.
So that's a that yeah.
And what would be the purpose of having the power to move it? What would be that strategic move?
Say you well typically right. Say the person resided in like a different county than you know, and you're the executor. You have the right to remove that case to a different county what's closer to you if you wanted to, or if you just don't like if they're biased there, you know, you can also move it. If you just feel like you want to move it as the executor, you can move it pretty much. They
Okay, so let
don't
me,
have authority over the case unless you give it to them.
Is that
right.
like a whenever? So you could pull the plug on that court and move it whenever, or you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
do
it's
that?
just a change of venue. Yeah, you
Okay, so
just
let me ask you
motion to
one
change
more.
venue.
I apologize. Let me ask you one more
Yeah,
question
go ahead. No,
about
you're fine. This is
probate.
what I do on these days normally, so you're good.
Um, so I'm just trying to figure out, okay, so my sister had a will and she had a pour over will. And so she lost her life due to a car accident and she got a huge, it was like a huge settlement and all of this and that. So I'm like, she has a will, a pour over will, and a trust. So what they did was, because I actually went and seen it for myself because I didn't understand, like, how are you guys not honoring this trust? So they only admitted the first 3 pages of the will and they left out the trust part of it.
Well,
And I'm
can you get that trust?
yeah.
Okay, well then, yeah, definitely need to put that in the record before they steal everything out of it, because they're gonna.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? I don't understand by
Okay, so who is the other parties in the case right now?
it's me and the rest of my family, like my
Mm-hmm.
siblings, my mom, and her son.
Okay, and who put just the 3 pages in there?
Oh, our attorney. So it was a wrongful
Mm.
death case, and the attorney, the probate attorney, actually did that. And I was
Is
not
that your
aware of
attorney?
it. Huh?
Is that your guys' attorney?
Yes, and I just found out
Damn.
about this today. I just looked at it online, and I'm like, well, why is it only the first 3 pages of the trust? And my brother made a point like he doesn't understand like why the money is not going directly into the trust versus wrongful death. And
Mm-hmm.
the lawyer said, what did he say? He said that they took it to wrongful death, so we wouldn't have to pay any creditors or something like that, but we still end up paying creditors anyway.
Yeah, and insurance.
Right, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
insurance. Yeah,
And
and
insurance
insurance
and
as
any type of
well.
Medicaid, Medicare benefits that was ever paid, that shit'll come out too. There's a lot of shit that comes out of probate. They literally fucking rock you.
Yeah, they did. They did. And like I told him, I'm like, well, you contradicting yourself. Because on one
What
hand,
state is this in?
Ohio.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, I was telling him like on one hand you're saying that well, wrongful death is like it's better for us to go the wrongful death route so you won't have to pay any creditors. Soon as we go to court, like this been going on since November of last year. We just like finished today because every time we go to court, the
Wait, you
judge
just finished it?
today.
So you guys are out of probate then?
Well, no, because the estate is still open because we're still suing the hospital. But I have to sign off on like us getting
The
a
amount?
check. Yeah,
Okay, how
and
much
all
is
of
it? How much was the value the estate with the settlement, and then how much are they trying to tell you? I mean, you don't have to answer that publicly if you don't want to.
oh,
You
I don't
can.
care. I
Okay.
don't care. 2.5 million.
Okay, and then what's the check they're trying to cut you guys?
Well, here's the thing. I'm glad you asked me that. So my nephew um is a minor, and so $1 million is going into a trustee account for him. And then it's like the balance is coming to be divided equally between us siblings and my mom.
Okay, so it'll be divided evenly between you guys, besides the million.
Correct.
And was that in the will? Is that why?
No, I just decided that
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, I misheard. I was okay. I
yeah,
got you. Okay,
like my
so
nephew should have the biggest portion because he lost his mother, you
I
know.
agree with you. That's good shit. Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely good. And was that the total amount of the settlement too?
No, the total amount of settlement was $2.5 million.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we paid. So what we end up doing was paying the creditors, the lawyers, and all of that. So at the end of the day, after everybody got paid, the balance was 1.6 million.
Okay.
Yeah,
1.6,
yeah.
and that's oh damn, out of 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! What the fuck cost $900,000? Did they itemize that and give it to you?
No, the lawyer. So the lawyer took a
Mm-hmm.
third, and his
Oh fuck!
yeah,
Yeah.
Dang, 900K in lawyers'
nine.
fees, hospital bills,
Yeah,
and geez.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend
Fuck!
in California that
Would
her family had 3.8 million in her and her three sisters, after having attorneys, three different attorneys on their cases,
Yeah.
they all left with less than 80,000.
Yeah, probate is
Those attorneys
vicious.
are. How
That's
does a trust
robbery.
get into probate though? I thought a trust is protected from probate.
And
No,
see,
no,
that's
no.
exactly
That's
what I
exactly
said.
the issue. This is exactly the issue because she had a pour over will, right? Which means that the will turns, if she has a trust attached to it, means whenever she passes, the will turns into an irrevocable trust. Okay? That's supposed to skip probate court.
And so why didn't it skip probate though? That's what I'm trying to figure
Because you
out.
signed a contract with that attorney.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Oh, okay.
You
So
yeah.
if okay, say for okay, the lawsuit going on or whatever, but I already had the contract with the attorney because of the lawsuit. But I didn't have one with the probate.
It
I
they
don't get it.
normally they loop it in so it's like any actions caused because when you have a contract with them for the lawsuit, I guarantee if you look in the fine details there, it sets it up for him to be able to represent any other matter associated with that estate. Because
Right.
you were suing your who passed away. They're
Right. Yeah.
technically suing through the lawyer. Their
Right.
estate
Because
is.
right. Because
So he's yeah.
initially my sister was alive for like 9 months. And then in
Damn.
the process of us going through this, she just like died. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying? And so,
I'm sorry for your loss, by the way.
thank you so much. Thank you. And
Yes,
so
my
she
condolences to
died.
you and the family.
Huh?
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
My
that.
condolences, yeah, to you and the family.
Yeah,
And I'm sorry that
totally.
this attorney took advantage of you in your time of need.
Yeah, and so and it was like I listened to my brother because I've been studying for about 2 years now. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm not as far as long as I should be because my sister ended up getting into an accident and I was tied up with her like for 9 months. And so basically I had fell off because I want to make sure that I'm just like doing everything right by her as far as her care and her being taken care of properly. And so, unfortunately, she ended up passing away due to her injuries and all of that. But we all had like, and so I was dealing with the insurance company on my own, and they wanted to settle, but she kept telling me, well, the amount of this settlement, like, you have to go through probate. It's no way that it can't go to probate. Like, you got to get a probate attorney.
Mm.
And so I didn't understand why. I'm like, because it's a will. She has a will and she has a trust or whatever. So I don't understand the purpose of me going to probate. But
Yeah.
anyway, I end up taking everything that I had and I went and got a lawyer. And I hate that I ever did that part, listening to my
No,
brother.
I
Yeah.
mean they did win the trial.
Well, it wasn't a
Or it wasn't a
trial. Like
trial,
I
a
had
settlement.
already had the settlement worked out with the insurance company
Oh,
before I
what?
took it to the yeah.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say something real quick? I went through an instance with a relative that passed away, and thank goodness. Now he's not educated in all this trust stuff and everything, but he had everything in TOD, transfer on death, or
Mm-hmm.
payable on death. And if
Mm-hmm.
you do not, everyone that you know and love and family members, if you don't want to get into the trust world, at least tell them to avoid probate, TOD,
Yep.
and you will avoid what she just went through. And
Well,
one last quick thing, TJ posted in the everyone group chat about what Jason said about the audio recording. So you go in the
okay.
group chat, somebody copied and pasted, TJ copied and pasted what was said about the infinite credit class. I'm out.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me check it. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah, and so we still have the lawsuit currently going on with the hospital. But yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, that's true.
I pray for you and your family and your strength.
Oh no, sorry, I was reading and I was talking to myself. My bad.
Yeah, this has got to stop. The abuse of this system is unheard of. For families in time of need, they're raping you all like this.
That's what
Yeah,
attorneys do.
definitely.
They're parasites.
Yeah, like
This
my
is
attorney,
malpractice.
I
Yeah.
This is
didn't feel like
malpractice.
he did
How
anything to
does a
deserve nine
non-injured
hundred
party
thousand
walk
dollars.
away with a higher portion?
Right, 900,000.
Well,
And then
they're only supposed to get a portion of that, so you might want to check the state laws to find out if
Oh, it's
they're,
legal. It's
huh?
legal. It's legal.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's fucked up, but yeah.
Wow.
We
They
didn't hear the warning. The Brits are coming.
it's typical. Because that's about 30% roughly.
Oh
You know,
yeah, you're right. 30%.
that's typically what they always do, and that's normally they actually do like after all of their fees, then they take 30%. But I mean, I guess they did it all in one. But damn, you already had all that checked out. But I mean, even if so, the number one way to actually like not just a TOD clause, right? Because like that, yes, that's good. But if the beneficiary, if you have insurance, right? If the beneficiary is not a trust, you can still get drug and probate. By the way,
really,
yes.
Yes, if it's over, I'm originally from Wisconsin, and if it's over $50,000, they say it has to go to probate. But if it's TOD, it does not have to. You just have to be very shrewd about it.
Well, but then all the relatives have to be in agreement too, from what I understand. I grew up in
Yeah.
Wisconsin, but I think this is applicable most places.
Yeah.
Hey, Blackstone, one other quick point. Somebody asked if the Saturday call is recorded so that if we miss, is there a replay?
Yes, they're all recorded.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think they're posted on YouTube. I don't do the posting of them. Someone else does that, but yeah, I as far as I know, they're on YouTube. I haven't even looked at them, so I couldn't tell you, but I do know that they have been posted on there because I get messages all the time saying that they watched my video from like 2 weeks ago and shit. So
But it's got to be
from
private. You got
class.
to have access to that. Otherwise, right?
Well, I mean, if I
Oh,
could,
that's the One Nation YouTube, I believe.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I don't really. I just come on here pretty much and do the thing. Um, pretty. I don't really get into the whole YouTube aspect or the I'm like I'm not on the app that much either. You know. That's why the shit always shuts down on me every time I try to do anything. It like glitches out and pisses me off. So I just have send everyone to Telegram. I have a One Nation members for BSA Black Swan Academia on Telegram that I have everyone go to, and then yeah, from there. But
Can
I'm
you
really
put that
busy.
link in the chat, please, so that we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
find it, find you?
yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
But I am extremely busy, just letting you know, like fucking extremely busy. So it might take me a little bit to get back to you. Just bear with me. My shit's getting blown up all the time. Like I
Bet.
can't control it. It's just nonstop.
I put the handle for YouTube in the chat,
Cool. Thank you.
but then the Black Swan Academia,
Yeah, I got
you
that.
can post. Yeah, cool.
I'm working on it. I'm kind of slow here. There we go. Okay. And then yeah,
Can
no,
I
I
ask,
was yeah,
who was
go ahead.
speaking about the? I'm sorry, who was speaking about the trust situation?
do you mean?
Do you remember the name?
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sorry. It says Ashley.
Ashley? Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you my information, Ashley.
Thank you so much.
Your name on here is Ash. Let me see. I just saw it disappear.
Yeah, Ashley Akoff.
Okay. Good. This ain't settling.
You see me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
now you got to be careful. So, um, yeah, I know the attorney. I mean, they did what they always do. They take their fat ass cut, and it's a bitch. But
Did
I
they
mean,
offer to do this on contingency, or did you pay up front?
Contingency.
Oh,
damn.
geez.
Yep. That's
Yes.
how you
Sorry.
know. That's how you know right there. Fuck. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm dealing with a similar situation with one of my family members. Not similar like that, but like the contingency aspect, they wouldn't listen to me.
So
Um,
how did he go about avoiding like probate, like period? Because I want to make
a
like,
trust.
but she had a trust, and they just
No, she had a will still. You don't have a will. You just have the trust.
so it was a pour over will,
Mm-hmm.
and then she had a trust. Like she has a real legitimate open bank account, trust, all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if she would have just had, like, simple as this, right? Two trusts. You have a family trust, which is an irrevocable trust, right? You have your revocable living trust. Okay. Within the trust agreement itself, it says all the rules of the trust, right? And the decanting provisions upon, in a triggering event like death, all of the assets would decant from that trust and go into the family trust. Probate would
Okay.
never touch it. Not a chance. But it has to be drafted right, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah, that's what I need because and I thought that my sister like did an amazing job with doing this or whatever, but unfortunately, like it did not work out like that. But I just found out today that they only added the first 3 pages of
Yeah.
the pour over wheel, and like he didn't even add the pages with the trust on there.
Yeah. That's why I never recommend having a will. Just go with the trust structure. As
Okay, so
as long
like
as it's drafted correctly, you know what I mean? It's very enforceable because if it's not like written in a way that has authority attached to it,
mm-hmm.
like I mean like directly attached to it. So like underneath each article, right, we'll have a section to cite to authorities that grants those powers with enforceable law as it is. Like it has to be written like that when you're talking about estate planning trusts because there's two different type of trusts. You know what I mean? You have business trusts and then you have estate planning trust. Estate planning trust, the main goal with that is to preserve your shit and pass it on to the next. Honestly, that's your estate planning trust. The
Okay.
business trust is a lot more fun. That's where you can do business out of. You know what I mean? There's a lot of benefits with having both. But if you're just worried about probate and the state coming to take your shit, building a small asset protection structure, you're golden.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people. It's funny because a lot of people like will say that they have such like a good private trust, and shit like that. But I look at the documents and like you can pierce them fuckers so easy. If they make one mistake, like conveying property into that trust without knowing how to contract with other entities to represent the property, we'll say, you can just directly sue that fucking trust. And their whole private aspect will crumble, especially because they can't represent that trust either. They'd have to get an attorney. And people don't even realize that shit.
Right.
Yeah, I
Because
heard that recently, and that startled me because
Yeah,
I'm
that's
a
true.
chief of my own tribe. I'm self-governed,
Hmm.
and I was told I need an attorney to represent the trust. Doesn't that bring me back into their jurisdiction?
Their jurisdiction has nothing to do with the trust.
But if I can't represent the trust,
You can only represent a revocable living trust. I mean, okay. There are ways that you can, but you have to be very well versed in the law. And I'm talking about like the procedures of the court.
it's a
N-
tribal trust.
yeah.
It's an ecclesiastical tribal trust under a self-governing tribe. How much more do I need?
Is it on a reservation?
Not yet. No, reservation is owned by the government. I'm looking
Yeah.
at getting our own land back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when you're talking about tribal, that's literally what that means in
Well,
federal
if the
law
land
because it's
wasn't
under
stolen,
statute.
I would be on the land if it
Yeah,
wasn't
I get
stolen.
that. I get that. I know.
I'm sorry, I'm agitated with that whole conversation. I do apologize,
No,
but
I get it. I get it.
it's not on the land yet because we're going through land patents to get the land back, and some of our records were burned and destroyed.
Yeah,
So
that
the
happens.
foolery is a bit much.
It's a lot. It's more than a bit much. It's a lot. It's a lot of
Yeah,
fuckery, yo. Like it is.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. But that's
So,
the
but
thing is
the
what.
point is, what more do I need? It has to be on the land in order for my ecclesiastical, which is the highest law in the land under God.
Well, ecclesiastical is actually pinned by the Catholic Church, right?
No,
They created ecclesia, and
I
all.
don't believe it. A lot of this was stolen
No, I know, but I'm saying like
from
the term.
my ancestors. So
Well, no,
they,
I'm just saying the word, the term. So if you
uh-huh.
use that within the governing document of the trust, and you're not, so they own the intellectual property associated with that. Is what I'm getting at. It all has to do
Okay.
with it. That's pretty much what it has to do with. Um, but yeah, so if you're not ordained, properly by them, it's not a true ecclesiastical trust. A lot of people
But see,
don't
if
get
I'm
that either.
ordained by them, I am under their power, not my spirit law, not my tribal law, not my ancestral laws and rights.
Well, yeah, I get that. That's why you don't want to name your trust ecclesiastical.
Well, that would be
Okay, I see what you're
natural
saying.
law, right?
Yeah,
Because
it'd
that
be natural law. That's right.
supersedes the ecclesiastical, from my understanding.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does.
Was natural law
Hmm.
trumps ecclesiastical, you said?
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Hmm. You see, the founders were um, quite knowing of the Catholic Church, we'll say.
To keep the church and state separate, it was to keep the Catholic Church out of
Yes,
government, not the other
it
way around.
was. It
Mm-hmm.
was. Like they were very knowing. Like, there's a founder that not that many people know of, Charles Thompson, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He was the first Secretary of Congress. He signed both Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. He was one of the great architects of the Great Seal of the United States. But most importantly, he spent 19 years translating the original Greek Septuagint into English because he found evidence that the um, Latin version, Latin Vulgate, and the Hebrew version was heavily corrupted. And that was also published in 1808 and was the only Bible that was funded through Congress. So
Really?
Old Covenant, yes, it's a $10,000 book. There's no fucking digitized copies of it. It's $10,000. I want it really bad, but
Wow.
it's 10 racks to get that shit.
Amazon.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's expensive as hell.
Oh yeah, it is. I know. It's fucking ridiculous, but I want it.
Can we go back to the percentages really quick on the attorneys? This is Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Usually in litigation, if they're just going back and forth representing you, it's 33 and a third percent. If they go into litigation, it goes up to 44% and can go to 50%. So when you have the family had the 2.6 on the settlement and they went to 1.3 would have been half of it. So if they only took 900%, they were within their percentages regarding their normal contracts. I just wanted
Yeah,
to be
I know.
clear.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, no, yeah, because even like they always set the contracts out before obviously they do any work for you, especially if it's contingent, they always take 30%. And typically actually like they could have taken more because normally like they'll take the 30%, but after all their fees and costs are paid for, all the insurance company get their money back, shit like that. And then they take 30%.
Right. In California, it's customary for 33 and a third.
Yeah.
And then they go up to, like I said, 44%. Usually we're working, bringing them down from 44.
Yeah, every state's different, but like Minnesota's they can contract higher, but typically it's like right around 30% for everything.
The crime and shame about it, we're not even going to talk about the money they take out of your treasury in the background that you don't
Mm.
even have a clue.
That okay. So there's a huge misconception that needs to be straightened out. Okay. What is actually attached to the birth certificate is insurance. Okay. We know that?
Credits or insurance.
It's insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How credit is created is specifically through the DTC system or DTCC system. Government, like the Federal Reserve, they are the transfer agent for the government to the DTC. The member banks, which are also part of the Federal Reserve, the member banks, the big ones, but they also have direct lines to the DTCC. The thing about it that people don't know, in which I will be expanding upon in the future, is how to use this to your benefit. But first of all, we can't do shit. It's a proprietary system. The government doesn't own it. The private banking cartels do. The government can't even regulate their system because they own the intellectual property to the entire fucking thing. Not the government. I'm talking about the people who run the DTCC. People don't even get that shit. The Treasury isn't shit. Honestly. Every corporation, almost every big corporation has a Treasury department. Every state has a Treasury department. Like all businesses, big businesses have treasuries.
And the
It's
courthouse.
common.
And the courthouse.
It's all common. Okay? It's common for a business to have treasuries. Now, the thing about it is under the proprietary system that they owned, that's how credit is created. Okay? So, credit is created mainly synthetically. So it's literally fake as shit, honestly, but whatever. Credit is being created on a mass scale through obligations of contract. Okay, what I mean by obligations of contract is they obligate somebody, anybody, for a specific performance. They then take whatever that specific performance is and put a value to it, which is called future interest. That is being used as collateral to create credit. Because the only people who can create credit is through the book entry system that the DTCC owns the intellectual property for. Get what I'm saying? So all the securities regulations and securities laws, like the no commingling, no self-dealing, all the securities licenses, all the transfer agent licenses, That's all being controlled by them, not the government. The government implements it on their behalf because they own that system. Government doesn't. And that's why the government does so much fucked up shit, is because there's another bigger player around that's got them by the balls. And what I mean by that is this system is not just the United States, this is global. The central banks around the entire fucking world, what they do is the same thing that the Federal Reserve does here. They purchase bonds from those other governments, just like our government, right? They're purchasing those bonds, but really they're just taking those bonds and transferring them over to a clearing and settlement agency or trust. The DTCC is the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. Like if you're over in the Europe area, you'd use Euroclear, but they're all connected to the same system. It's all the same system. They've owned the intellectual property since 1972, and that is the year that they took the dollar off the gold
Actually,
standard completely.
1971, August 13.
Well,
Sorry,
that's when they did that. But I'm saying the DTCC was 1971. I thought it was 1972.
No, Nixon.
No, yeah, I know that.
That was August 13.
Yeah, right after they perfected the fucking only mechanism now that they were using to create money, which back then cryptography isn't new. You know what I'm saying? As long as the credit card has been around, as long as there's been digits in the screen where money's moving back and forth through protocols and communications of interbank exchange, that shit has always been cryptography. It's not new. It's private bank digital currencies. That's what it's been for a very long time.
It's like the IBS or something, right? The International Bank of International Bank of Settlements and the IMF.
Yeah, they're a big player in it, you know. But it's the thing about it is like what people understand is it's there is ways, okay? But number one, you can't do it by yourself. Okay? Sadly, it's true. Number two is you and whatever group you form needs to find an intermediary to partner with. An intermediary. And then you also have to know how to structure your shit correctly. Otherwise, they're not even going to look at you. And you have to know how to speak the language. Or at least somebody in your group has to be fluent and be able to talk to these bankers as if they're a banker. Now, I was showing this a couple weeks back, I think, or maybe last week, but if you go on to Latham and Wakens, they have books of jargon, okay? And capital markets, hedge funds, read those fucking books and learn the terminology within there. You'll be able to go into a financial institution. I'm not talking about little bank branch. None of them fuckers know shit. If you go into a Wells Fargo that's just a little tiny bank branch, you know, on the corner of fucking whatever, they're not going to know anything about this shit. You're going to have to know somebody in the corporate office downtown or in, you know, more city. It's never in the regular bank branch. It's the only time you're going to find something in a smaller type, you know, building that knows these things is a private wealth and trust company. And in order to open an account with them, you need $250K to do so. And if you don't know how to do that, you know, that's kind of a obstacle, isn't it? That's private wealth and trust company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an obstacle, but you can get over that. You just need to learn basics before you try to do those things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You repeat that again? The what company?
A private wealth and trust company. Just look one up.
I mean, what was the website with the books of jargon?
Latham and Wakens.
Latham and Wakens. Okay.
Yeah, it's a law firm. It's a global law firm that specializes in securities law, mainly capital markets and shit like that. It's a really good resource, like excellent resource. If you want to know how the game is actually played, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people have no idea what the fuck is going on in the financial world at all whatsoever. But they're out here on fucking social media acting like they know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing. I guarantee you none of them know fucking shit. Guarantee. Sadly.
Nope. No.
It's true. But, you know, whatever, it is what it is, right? They're gonna do what they're gonna do. I mean, it's good clickbait, right? You can get a lot of
It's a heck
followers
of
that
a
way.
hook, right?
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
I
heck of a
don't
hook.
make any videos. This is all I do is on here on this private platform, on this private group. I am not on any social media making any videos. Like, I don't even fuck with the YouTube shit that these guys have of the videos that I make. And I say some good shit sometimes that people wouldn't ever hear anywhere else. Quite a bit, actually, I think. I
You
don't know,
do.
Bass, so you're
all the
No,
good.
time.
you totally do.
All
Yeah. You know, mainly me it's more risk management, you know. Because I got that legal mind, so I think of like how would I fuck them over? So then that's how I know what not to do, you know what I'm saying? Because if I figure out a way that I could do something or break a contract and get over and do some sort of shit like that, I make it so my structures they can't. If that makes sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, risk mitigation to fucking maximum level, but still having a huge upside of reward. So it's like, because you normally always have it's a risk to risk to reward. You know, like the more risk you take, you know, the more reward you get. Typically, is kind of how that goes. Well, I learned to minimize that risk and keep that same level of reward. It's just it takes a little bit more steps. You know what I mean? It's not as like you're not going in like blindsided and shit. You're going in with a plan. But everything is doable, and yes, that post is correct that Johnson said. I am going to be going from step one all the way to being able to do that. And I'm really hoping that everybody we all can go together. You get what I'm saying? Like, because we need a team, a big ass fucking network, and that's how the money starts flying.
I
And
mean,
it's
Yeah,
not that hard to do.
one of the things that helped, I guess, some people are. If you've ever worked for a big company and they do like interdepartmental billing or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that, that's more or less what we're talking about. And Johnson just made a video. I saw it maybe 2 days ago or something about how you need a business. I don't know. Did
Yeah,
anybody here see that?
I saw
yeah,
that.
I seen that.
Because
Hmm.
that's what he's talking about, basically, without getting too deep or getting ahead of Black Swan here. Um, Basically, everybody would be having a business, and then um, we'd be serving each other in
Yeah,
some way, ideally, in an ideal
kind of.
world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like you can extend each other credit privately through contracts legally too. As
Right,
long as
using
you guys are
using.
all doing business, you have to all meet the economic substance standards, which is what the Treasury regulations require. There's a big difference between business purpose and consumer. Okay. You never want to be in that consumer position. I know a lot of people push consumer law and this and that, which is, yeah, it's cool and all, it's good. But where you really want to be is business purpose. So, business purpose loans do not have an ability to repay clause. What that means is consumers, ever since the financial bullshit that happened with the housing market in 2008, um, Dodd Frank came out to kind of attempt to fix that issue, right? And what they did with Dodd Frank is what they made any consumer or solo investor have to meet the standards to have the ability to repay to obtain the funding. So this is why the whole aspect, oh yeah, the application is the money, it's the security, is fucking bullshit. And that's not true at all whatsoever. The application is literally a mandatory mechanism for risk management that anybody who is lending to a consumer has to do. They have to check your credit score because you don't know how to transfer risk, right? You don't know risk transfers. You don't know nothing like that. So when you're going to purchase something, they have to check your credit score. When they check your credit score, that'll determine if you have the ability to repay. Sometimes they'll check your credit score. If your credit score is lower, they require you to bring pay stubs and shit. The only reason why they do that is because by law, they will lose their fucking ability to originate loans if they give anybody a fucking loan that doesn't have the ability to repay under Dodd-Frank. And they will go after them and sue the shit out of them, which they do, obviously, if you look up case law against the fucking CFPB or the SEC against banks. They do this shit all the time. They fucking rock them, too. They always settle, you know. I mean, these banks are smart, so they always expect a possibility of a lawsuit, right? So since they're expecting a possibility of a lawsuit, they put a substantial amount of money aside just in case they got to pay it out on a settlement, so it doesn't fuck up their business. So they have an insurance fund there against, you know, in case they get caught doing what the fuck they're doing. You know. But yes, if you're a consumer, the ability to repay is non-negotiable for anybody at all dealing with a consumer. However, they left a carve out for business purpose. Business purpose does not have to meet the ability to repay at all. It's not an underwriting requirement whatsoever.
So why
Is
is
that
there a personal guarantee being pushed?
how you're able to like just put it into an LLC and then just get rid of it?
Oh no, that's a whole different strategy, bro. But yeah,
Oh,
No, but
okay.
you can get interest-free credit cards for like that's the lowest of tiers. But with an LLC, you can get a sizable amount of funding just from a
but an
credit card.
LLC isn't even the structure. Like, I mean, at a very minimum, like a sole corp, you know,
Like
an S corp at
I
the very
mean, not a
minimum.
sole proprietorship.
No, no, not
Sole
not for that.
proprietorship, you're on the hook
You talking
still.
about a
Yeah,
single member LLC?
nope, nope, definitely not. Because they're still gonna make you personally guarantee that motherfucker.
So if I have like a corporation set up,
Yeah.
I should be able to go and get funding
It has
because
to be set up right, yeah. But I mean, just you can set up a corporation. If it's not structured correctly, they're gonna look at you and they're not gonna give you shit. The
okay,
whole no bank funding thing or the no doc loans is real if you're structured correctly. The banks don't give a fuck. They make money when they give you money. You know what I'm saying? Like the banks make money on interest. Like you can even use a strategy. I mean, I shouldn't, I guess, say this, but I don't know if you know what interest only loans are.
no,
Okay,
clueless.
it's literally what the government mainly uses, right? They
Mm-hmm.
borrow money and only pay the interest on the debt, no principal. They roll the principal over continuously.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So
they're
you,
only paying interest payments. They're still making payments. The banking industry is still making their cut. You know, the money is just being there's just credit, it's synthetic debt. It's credit that's being created out of obligations. Like that's what money is. Money is debt, literally. So if you know how to create debt, you know how to create money. But you got to be careful with it because anti-money laundering and Bank Secrecy Act laws specifically are targeting people who are creating a lot of debt, not people who are washing money for the cartel, which is what everybody thinks they're about. But if you really read the anti-money laundering laws in the Bank Secrecy Act, you will clearly see that they're after the money creation, not the money washing. Because this is a big fucking game. There's a lot of players. And this is where, yeah, a lot of money gets created, obviously.
You better say it.
The loan never
Yeah.
gets paid back.
Huh?
The loan never gets paid back. They don't
Nope. They
care.
keep
It never gets
rolling
paid
that
back.
bitch over. They keep rolling it over, rolling it over, rolling it over. Normally they borrow long term, right? So they pay interest only for like fucking 20 years on a large amount of
Forever.
money.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when that balloon payment is, ready, when that balloon payment is ready to pop, they refinance the debt and do the same thing again and again and again. Create more businesses doing the same fucking thing. They're
So
creating money, literally, because that's what credit is.
Is it true that it only takes 7 people to open up a credit union?
I have to look into that a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure it only takes 7 people, but you also have to have like $3 million in capital to put down too.
Okay.
And if you're gonna do a credit union, I'm pretty sure you have to get OCC, and you have to get fucking shit through the OCC, off comptroller currency,
Hmm.
and then also the American Bankers Association as well, and the NCUA. But I mean, it's doable. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But yeah, you gotta same with that's the banking industry for you though. You know what I mean? They have that shit on lock. Same with insurance. You know how hard it is to fucking start your own insurance company? I'm not talking about being an agent for another company. I'm talking about creating a brand new insurance company that no one's ever heard before. Very fucking difficult. I've looked into it multiple times because that's just stupid money. Yeah, but it's very hard to do so. I mean, if you look at the on the Treasury's website, they have all the companies that are listed that can issue surety bonds in the entire United States. There's not very many companies that can do so. Bonds, are insurance.
Right.
Yeah,
You
we
know what I
have a
mean?
company that's offering tribes surety bonds instead of the driver's insurance for your car. You
Yep,
can get
that's correct. Yeah.
full surety, full coverage
Yeah, they
for
typically
10
call that.
years for like $2,500.
Yeah, no, they typically call that if you look at your self-insurance laws, your self-insurer laws, that's where a lot of that shit you'll learn about a lot of that shit in there. Every state has them. But yeah, self-insurance is literally just knowing how to bond yourself, knowing how to insure yourself, having the financial capacity to insure yourself instead of going through a fucking private insurance company and getting rocked with those policies. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of those policies
Yeah.
are very beneficial, right? But typically you can create your own riders within a bond agreement and just pay the premiums on it. Just like you can bond literally anything, and that's insurance. So when I speak about insuring intellectual property, I'm not talking about normally typically going to an insurance company per se, but I'm going to a company that specializes in insuring alternative investments. So that's typically what it is. It's an alternative investment. If you're trying to say you have a piece of artwork, right? And you want value to be pinged to that artwork, you're going to have to go to somebody who can bond that, right? Or insure that alternative investment. I mean, there's a reason why the art laws are the way they are. You don't pay taxes on art. It's literally how the wealthy people launder money.
Right.
Yeah, like for real, they create stupid wealth out of the dumbest shit, like a banana being taped to the wall.
Is that how they fund some of their trust?
Huh?
Isn't that how some people fund their trust by insuring a lot of things?
Yeah, of course. That's value. So it's like some aspects of insurance. So say you want to insure a painting, right? You know why they have a lot of these paintings in vaults? Because that's a part of the deal when it comes to bonding that. They have to put it in a vault. So it holds its value more. It drops the premium prices on that insurance, and the collateral value of that item when it's held in a vault is substantially more than if it was just hanging on your wall. You get what I'm saying? But that's other shit. I wasn't really going
And
into
art
shit
is
tonight.
the anonymous purchaser and sale, meaning it doesn't have to be reported.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Crazy.
Well, it's like that for a reason. That's same with wine too. Same with wine. But yeah. There's a reason why those things are so expensive,
I didn't know wine had no reporting or interesting.
Yeah, I know.
I got a crazy wine network if we want to do that.
I'm good on that one.
NFTs fit the art requirement, so that's kind of
I got a bunch of stuff
it.
We can make into NFTs, and we can use the videos that I did to make them also as a series.
A lot of them are garbage, but it is possible.
No, my artwork.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, and then some groups were taking real notable artist artwork and destroying it and making like an NFT out of that. I don't know how they're doing.
I'm trying to say that it was going to bring it value because there's less art pieces, or what?
Well, it's kind of solves the problem, right? Like if you have
I forgot
physical
what that
and
is.
you make it digital, like what's the
Hold on,
now you have two.
Yeah, yeah. To use
To
like
maintain scarcity.
OpenSea or something to like digitize it.
Well, this is a Bansky. I think is how you say his name. Famous
Oh,
artist.
oh yeah, I know him.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Claim number. I forgot what the fuck it was. I gotta text them quick. So I can claim the host. I haven't done that yet. In order to turn my fucking screen on. Because you just wanted to go through the contract or whatever the fuck. You want me to go through the documents and shit? Right? Is that what I heard? Or no?
Well, there was a document in that discovery tab. I think that
I got them both up right now, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I know I gotta wait for the fucking code.
Oh, okay.
I forgot it.
411.
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's like, I know that one, man.
Yeah, it's definitely not that one.
You brought it before I put it there on.
I forgot what the fuck it was. So I have to.
So I made a pot roast and I infused it with like 7 grams of distillate.
You did?
Holy shit, bro.
Does any what?
Said he made a pot roast and he infused it with 7 grams
of distillate.
You must be feeling groovy.
Oh, I'm feeling amazing.
That's what's up.
I just kind of let it melt in there in the juices and then mixed it around. And the potatoes, oh my goodness.
I gotta go.
Sounds like Sunday dinner at your house.
It's a real deal pot roast.
Yeah, like a beef.
You tell us this and no pictures, no smell vision, nothing. I mean, hello, torture.
Hold on.
Damn.
I'm gonna do something better. Let's see if I can do this. Anybody know how to turn this
That
on?
pot roast took you out of this world, man.
I don't know how. All right, look. So I had 7 grams on this and just kind of let it melt in there.
It's
Can't
only
see
your
it, bro.
background now.
Yeah,
You
it's the
can't see it.
background. Oh, that's terrible. Hold on. Oh man, I can't see. Hold on. I gotta do some technical work and I'll be back.
The fuck does it say?
Just put it in front of your face.
Why the fuck am I going? What the fuck
The
is
background of the world takes over if it's not an image of a human being's face. So I have to like literally
That's why I
bring
say you have a
bring
black
the pot
shirt.
roast up, right? Like to come all the way. I have to literally come into the soup so you guys can see it.
Okay, leave him be, guys. He's a little big.
There. Uh-huh.
Nice.
So
What's your address?
I'm in Minnesota.
Yeah, he's by me. I'm about to go through their shit.
I'll bring you some tomorrow.
Sounds good, bro.
All right, bet.
Sounds good. Okay, so what the fuck? Damn, yo, I'm gonna have to rewrite this entire thing. Okay. This I don't use this. It's not gonna work. You can't conflate consumer law and securities law. It's a completely different set of law. This is the first time I'm looking at this thing, to be honest with you. So
that be commingling?
well, no, it's just a different set of law. Like securities law has nothing to do with consumer law.
Oh yeah. Okay. No. Okay.
Yeah, that's under the SEC. You know what I'm saying? Like Securities and Exchange Commission.
Yeah, I'm just gonna eat my pot roast and be quick.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can't
And fall
conflate the two.
asleep.
Are you trying to display the document?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the fucking code.
Oh, okay.
What I'm
I
doing.
thought you had it up or whatever.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm still waiting on the fucking code. So like that's you know. Fuck. Nobody knows the fucking code? Are you serious? It's not. I'm gonna have to call Grace. Or not call, but text, I guess.
Is
It's
it
not
42000?
No. I don't think so. I mean, it's worth a shot. I could definitely see them doing it. No, that was wrong.
Damn. There I go with the pot roast. I'm gonna be quiet again.
That was wrong again. Motherfucker.
You're not gonna get locked out, are you?
I don't think I'm gonna. I said you're trying to fucking Basto crack that shit. I don't know what it is. Fucking brute force that motherfucker. You know, for real. What the fuck? No, anyways. Whatever. Does anyone have any questions while I wait for this fucking code by chance? No? Chat.
Mighty interesting.
I do.
Okay.
What is your if I have a trust already and I need a second set of eyes on it, would you do something like that?
What do you mean? Like a trust protector?
No, I have already written up a trust.
You want me to see if I can break it?
Yeah, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that it's
I
sound.
can. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your fee on it?
I don't know. I just normally break the motherfuckers, but it depends. How big is it?
Yeah, don't be screwing him
depends.
over and breaking it in like 6 seconds and charging him. We know you're good.
Well, no, it depends on like how long it is, because like I wouldn't. So like with something like that, depending on how big it is, would depend on how long it would take me, and it would, even if like I could break one part of it really fast, it doesn't mean like that's not a full review. You know what I mean? Like I would literally line by line see what the fuck can be broken and then write a report about it. Um,
Okay, what about just looking at it for structure?
I'll just look at it, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't care. I can
That's
check it out, but
kind
like,
of the thing that,
He said, "I'll
depending on
do
what
that
you're
for
trying to
fun."
do, you could review it here, take out personally identifiable info, and share it. Because really, we all need to be getting our affairs in order so that
I could
we
I could
don't go to
actually do that. I
probate.
could fucking,
Put up a
you know,
template.
you want to be a good idea. Yeah, well, I'm still waiting on the code. I can't do shit. But you know what would be a good idea is if like I can take like a few different trusts, right? Specifically ones that, I mean, this is gonna, I mean, okay. Hmm.
Why not just
Um,
start with the best one? Because then you don't have to work your way to that one. The most secured, unpierceable one.
what do you mean?
I don't.
Unpierceable. I mean,
Well, when you right, you just got done saying if you break a trust, it's another word for break, right? Pierce.
piercing. Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, okay. So like, it depends on how a trust is written, first of all. If there's no authorities within it, it's a lot easier to reinterpret what it says because it's ambiguous, you know, depending on what type of trust it is too. If it's estate planning or if it's a business trust. I mean, typically it's a big difference. But like business trust, you can just go on the SEC website, you know, and read their business trusts. Typically.
That's kind of a cheat code.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but it takes a long time to learn, you know. But the business trusts, I mean, a lot of them, you know, at least the public facing aspects, it's not the full trust there, but you can get an idea, you know, of like what's going on because it's finance heavy. You know what I mean? Because mainly those are special purpose vehicles, those securitization trusts, and that's what you would be looking at there on the SEC. Mainly for finance, you know. What's the name of the fucking? What do you mean, dude? Hold on. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing here. Let me see. Is there a link? How do I get a link? That's not right. More
I
meeting
think we need
info.
to do a
Copy
class on
link.
Zoom.
There we go.
Bam.
You don't know the fucking. I'm talking to myself and shit.
Hold on a second. You're yelling at the computer. It's okay.
What's good, bro?
No, I said you're yelling at the computer. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
I do it all the time.
So, yeah.
I put a link for the SEC.
Yeah.
It's got not sure exactly what everything. Maybe this is exactly. It's got like the outline, name and definitions, nature and purpose, principal place of business, whatever. It's like an example trust, and it's pretty long.
Yeah, they're long as fuck. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really long, but it's what they have on their website.
Mm-hmm. Typically. That's what I'm saying. It takes a while to learn because, like, the terminology and how, like, it's not little shit. You know what I mean?
It seems like Well, okay. First off, there are trusts in the library. I don't know if you've seen those, but when you go to the library Johnson has, there's, I don't know, 5 maybe. I can't quite remember, but there's a number of them. But somewhere, we need to have something like how to get your affairs in order, what everybody should have to skip probate, probably an advanced directive. You may or may not want to, lie in a hospital bed with tubes and whatever for some period of time,
Yeah, that wouldn't be
being kept
ideal.
alive or not, depending on what your wishes are. Probably deal with the donor, because they automatically sign you up now as an organ donor. And that's a whole rabbit hole to go down. That's pretty freaking ugly. But I would not, personally, I am not a donor. I encourage people that want to donate to put that in a separate document, but should be looked at legally. I wouldn't have donor on my driver's license, probably.
No, wouldn't be good. I wouldn't. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with you on
you're in
that one.
agreement there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
fuck
get that
that.
taken off.
No, they automatically do it in most states.
No,
from what I hear.
I did it by choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm missing my gallbladder and whatever else they took out of me already. So
Yeah, fuck all that. I'm good on that shit. That's not something that I'm trying to do. Oh fuck. Okay.
Yeah, that's a death wish for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I gotta go inside for a second. Y'all talk amongst yourself. Give me literally like a couple minutes. I'll be quick as shit.
you think
Sure.
that's why they tried to kill me in the hospital? Because I had a donor on my license.
Yeah,
They
so
tried to
and
kill
if
you?
they have a
Well, I mean,
wealthy
I did
person who
die in the
needs an
hospital.
organ,
Like,
oh Jesus.
I was injected with some dye for the MRI or whatever, and I've never been allergic to anything in my life. But apparently, I died in the machine, and then I came back. Like, I felt like I was getting sick, and so I told them, I'm like, hey man, my stomach hurts. I don't feel well. You should probably get me out of here. And they like jumped to get me out of there, they they saw a ghost type shit. And then when I asked my wife, how long I was back there, because she's like, well, when they took you out of the room, you've been gone for like 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours. And they brought me into this other room with a bed on it. And
it was over 4.
Yeah, she can tell you.
Can't hear anything.
Same here. It got quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That's kind of weird.
Joshua, we can't hear you.
The pot roast must be kicking in.
Yeah, I think the pot roast kicked in.
He's too far out in orbit.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, Sharon, were you telling them?
No, I had said it was over
She can
4
tell you better
hours.
than I can, because I only remember the looking over at Sharon and telling Sharon, babe, I'm tired. I'm going to close my eyes for a minute. And then I closed my eyes and I saw the nurse lady, like jump on me and start putting electrodes on me. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I looked over, I saw Sharon touch me. And when she touched me, my heart rate spiked.
That's interesting.
And it wasn't a spike. It was from low 40s to maybe high 40s to 50 was his heart rate, resting heart rate.
And so, like, I was standing next to Sharon when Steve talked to me, and like that's how I was looking at things. And then all of a sudden, I was behind the nurse who was about to shock me with the defibrillator, and I'm like, these motherfuckers think I'm dead. I gotta wait. Like, hold on. And then I just kind of woke up. But honestly, all I remember is just like being out of my body and seeing that scene take place.
That's intense.
I know I'm a little late, but I want to say welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, that was back in 2021.
My gosh. Ooh.
We had a conversation 4 months before then, pretty deep conversation about past lives and spirit soul ties stuff, just crazy stuff. And I had looked at him and we had just started just very newly dating. And I had said, hey, do you know why when I lay at night or rest, I always have to have my hand or my head on your chest? And I said, because some way, somehow, I know I've heard your heart stop before. And then fast forward 4 months and his heart
Some way,
actually
somehow,
stops.
what? Some way, somehow, what?
That I had felt his heart stop before, like I had lost him, like he had died. And that was in May. And then fast forward to September, then this happens when he goes to get an MRI and he's allergic to the dye and he has severe tachycardia. And nobody knew this. He didn't know that. I didn't know. The doctors didn't know. And it just happened.
But now I think they tried to kill me.
Oh damn! I can't even fucking
take my organs.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. They're all damaged. They don't want my organs.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be in there when someone's wealthy in town needs an organ.
But we were at the University of St. Cloud, weren't we? At the St. Cloud University Hospital.
Yeah, he was at the St. Cloud Hospital. Yeah.
So, don't they do experiments in universities? Dun dun dun. I'm just playing. I always try to make light of it. And
I think you have the testimony.
I always try to make light of it, and it's not fair to Theron because it's kind of a big deal.
Let me see what the fuck am I doing here right there. Okay.
My video on. What is going on?
There.
It sounds like they got pissed off at you because you left and came back.
Who got pissed off at who for what?
I said they got pissed off at the hospital at him because he left and came back. They couldn't collect on those body parts.
That's probably true. Man didn't work.
They were getting ready to all them hours I was gone.
Close down.
Did you say you were an organ donor that was on your driver's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard not to ever put that shit on there because they'll take and sell your ass quicker than they'll keep you alive. Which it sounds like you found that out. Obviously, that's horrific, bro. Sorry.
What the fuck case is that?
Well, being allergic to the dye, and he does have severe tachycardia. He has monitored his heart for 2 weeks after that, and his heart would have
That's what they
prolonged
say.
moments.
I use that machine, right? The sticky things
Believe
kept
it.
falling off.
I
Yeah,
believe it.
that's the story they gave y'all. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard time following instructions with anything. So I definitely didn't use that machine right. I don't even think I went in for that test I was supposed to go in for.
Yes, you did.
The sleep test?
Sleep apnea test.
Yeah. Like I was supposed to go in for some test to test me when I sleep to see what my heart does or
Yeah,
some
no, that's
crazy.
why you had the monitor thing at home for 2 weeks.
Oh.
And they would remember
Yeah,
they
but didn't it
asked,
say like I would stop breathing and sleep?
right? And I agree with that.
Hey, Basso, did you ever
Yes.
did you scrape this?
What's up?
Did you scrape this?
No, not yet. I'm gonna have to allocate. That's probably some sizable
I would
data to
say.
store somewhere.
I
Yeah.
was wondering. Could be nice. But I wanted to show something that I was talking about earlier, right? Let me see if I can remember. I don't remember exactly which fucking volumes they were, but I'll just wing it, I guess. This is Minnesota specifically. Reports. Oh. Oh, okay, they already did it, this one. See how it says it's held the material is held in trust, it's copyright, so this book is intellectual property, right? Like the reason why this okay, so this is static.case.law. Well, it's case.law, it's Harvard's free access project to case law. And they have a shitload of the reporters in here. Like these are all like I'll go to home. Even this is like maybe I should go back even further.
Can you make your screen larger?
No. Wait, I can get rid of that. I can't make it any larger. I mean, it's my iPad screen, actually. It's not even my phone that I'm on. But yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, I don't know how to. I don't know. What the fuck? I'm just gonna take that out. Oh shit, there's still a period. So this case.law. Harvard's free access. You go up here, so they have bulk downloads up here. Click that fucker, and this will bring you to here. And this is literally all a shitload of reporters. But if you want to know more, like what the fuck it is, let me see here. Go to the docs right here.
I'm downloading that. LOL.
There's a lot.
I
Where
know
the
it's
fuck is
like
it?
extra new hard drive for it. Type shit.
I know I was going to actually because I don't even know how much it would be. Like how many yeah. So this is the like key to those, how it says it only has like the links next to it, so you don't really know what the fuck they mean. But this is the key. I found this the other day. But yeah, so you can see that it has all these different, California has a lot. Obviously, I mean, Colorado only goes to 1980. Dakota Territory. Wow, they have that. That's intense. But what I was looking at is, you know, they only have one for Minnesota. How much bullshit is that? But okay. I was trying to figure out where I thought it was 40, or maybe it's less. Oh, this one still says it too. Held in trust. But if you go down here, it says by general statutes directly, right? There's a discrepancy here if you see the time lapse go on. Like if I go to, I think 70, could be wrong. It might be. It's getting closer to that time. Held in trust. Yeah. Let me see. Yep, right there. See how it changed from the general statutes to the bylaws. Do you guys see what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was all around the same time era. You know what I'm saying? Where the Supreme Court gave the police powers, and also when they interpreted the 14th Amendment, allowing corporations, because before corporations were not allowed to, right? So, like governments weren't technically allowed to own property, you know, but with the Supreme Court's interpretation of the 14th Amendment, it allowed corporations to sue, be sued, and own property. And ever since that case, there's been a large conversion, right, from the governing, like the government, to the municipal corporation or the more proprietary arm of the shit, pretty much. But you can see how they changed the general statutes to the bylaws. And this is I mean, I haven't looked in other states. I'm sure it's similar, but where to go statute. And it's funny because these fuckers used to actually um hear cases on the United States Constitution at the state level. You know, then they don't do that shit anymore at all. And then you have the English statutes up there as well. You see that? That's very important, actually, the English statutes, because how that works. So anything adopted after the Constitution does not matter within the United States. So Blackstone's commentaries on the common law of England was one of the main interpreting documents when they were drafting the Constitution of the United States. And that's why Old English case law is very important and can still be used today.
But it has to be pre-Constitution?
Yes.
So I was reading, and I'm not sure where I read it, this is recently, but that common law is like equity, and that was like happening in tandem with at law.
Yeah. Well, yeah, common law was at law back then. Equity
But
was
isn't
still
common law
separate.
equity?
No,
No.
they're not the same thing. You can't conflate them. They're separate. They are separate, 100%. Common law, back in the day, was at law, right?
Yeah, but most courts don't go by common or equity law unless
Oh, they
there's.
do. They do. But
I
there's a
forget how you have to distinguish it
yes, there's
in the
no remedy
in
left
the.
at law. You
Hmm?
have to be able to articulate that there's no remedy left at law.
Yeah.
And that's like the main hurdle to get over, right? But
No remedy left at law, you said?
yeah, because statutes are at law. And statutory law abrogates common law and equity, meaning it overrides it. So if there is a
How
statute
does
that
it?
comes, yeah, it does. If there's a statute that comes into play, right? This is how the three jurisdictions work, right? So the court, the actual judicial branch, not the bullshit administrative, but I'm talking about the actual judicial branch, like the Supreme Court of the United States, right?
Mhm.
When they make case law that is completely against what Congress actually intended, what Congress will do is they'll just come out with a new statute next bill, and it will completely shut down the previous Supreme Court's case. Or they'll amend the whole ass Constitution like they did after Chisholm versus Georgia.
Okay, I thought equity law was a higher
Equity
law
law
than.
is is looped in with trust law, but it's a very, very strategic and cautious line, right? So
Yeah.
when you use equity, right, you have to be able to articulate how there's no remedy at law. So we'll say this as an example, right? There's no private rights of action under anything to do with 18 United States Code, right?
Okay.
Anything that is 18 USC is only directed towards the Department of Justice. That's it. Nobody can do shit with the 18 USC except for the Department of Justice. There's no private right of action under there, right?
Okay.
However, 18 USC, those crimes that are within there go back to the common law, right? Because they've been around for a very long time. Majority of the shit in there, it comes off of principles. And now there's something called common law torts,
Mm-hmm.
in which you could use equity and the common law tort in tandem with each other to bring an action against a party when there's no remedy at law because there's no private right of action at law. It's very, very tedious, but it's very strategic when you can get it down. But you should definitely know at law first before you get into equity, in my opinion. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion. Because you have to be able to revert the narrative back to equity. And the only way to be able to do that is if you already know at law. You know what I mean? Like if you don't know the if you don't know the at law aspects of things, it's gonna be hard to be able to fiend it off when the other side is gonna constantly come at you at law. Like you're gonna have to be able to revert everything back to equity of how that's not applicable in this case. Which is kind of hard because there's a fuckload of statutes, you know what I'm saying? Especially on the state level. And that's what affects us mainly is the state statutes. That's what affects us locally, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
mine
United
is a little trickier because once again, I have tribal protections, I have UN protections that uh is not common. It is, and they've swept this stuff under the rug. All the treaties, they've not honored not one of them. So it's a
No, because
more.
they do it by force.
Yeah, it's a
Everything's by
shitload.
force now.
Yeah,
It's not by consent. Like you can't consent out of it. It's not by consent. It's ran by the military. You got to think the whole administrative branch of the government is under the executive department, right?
okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, anything that's a part of the administration is all executive. What does the executive control? The fucking military.
yeah,
It's yeah, that's what it's been since back in the late 1800s. That's, you know.
But
yeah. But
that's
I
That,
got
only if
treaties
you're in
of
the public,
rights.
right?
huh?
That's only if you're in the public, correct?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, because tribal
Yeah.
is in private.
But no, if you're on a public road, you're in the public. That's not private.
I have
If
the
you're
right to travel.
if you're if you know you don't, you have the right to
Yeah.
locomotion in egress and ingress. That's in
No.
Blackstone commentaries, Common Law of
Well,
England.
see. Well, go back to the Indigenous Citizen Rights Act. Is it Citizenship Act? Yeah, Indigenous Citizenship Act. Whereas I have dual citizenship. I don't have to relinquish, I'm not required to relinquish any of my tribal rights on
Yeah.
this land in order to also be a citizen. So I have the right to operate in all my tribal rights.
I get what you're saying, but you know,
Yeah, no, that's it in all. So that dual citizenship has been killed with the paper genocide of renaming us Black, African American, and Negro, and all this stuff here. that paper genocide does not remove my right.
Well,
So
I
we all
mean,
hold dual citizenship.
if you
Well,
look into the history, like in Virginia and Massachusetts, like they have a lot of really old books
the
from the
Commonwealth.
1600s. Yeah,
Hmm.
they have a lot of the colonial shit, right? They got,
That's where this comes from.
yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. American
Yeah.
Indians were always immune.
And that's what they're trying to. They accuse me of false ID with my tribal ID and
Yeah,
my international diplomatic ID. I also have ID from the tribe in New Zealand, which makes me an international diplomat and protected under the UN.
Really? You
But they're
have
ignoring it.
diplomatic from the indigenous New Zealand? I forget the name of the
Mari.
Maori. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes, I am a Mari member.
that's cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So it's work because they don't know international law,
No,
and they're not honoring even with the Thomasina, was it Thomasina Brown, is it, law in Virginia, ignoring that.
the what?
Thomasina.
I'm
I'm
not
not
familiar with
familiar
that. I
with
don't
that.
think.
Right. You,
Let me
that's
pull it up.
one?
No, I'm not.
This is when
I'm
they
down
try
to
to
check
kill
this
off
out.
the Indian
What's it
tribes
called?
in Thomasina. Let me pull it up. Hold on.
What? How I
Yeah, how
spell
do
it?
you spell that?
Yeah, I'm looking. Hold on, let me get my records. Bear with me 1 second. Get my file out.
Fuck.
Okay, here we go. Open up already. Thomasina E. Jordan, Indian Tribes of Virginia Federal Recognition Act.
Was it? Well, how do you spell it though?
Okay, I'm gonna cut and paste
Hmm.
here.
Yeah, actually put it in the chat.
Yeah. Am I in here now? Oh, you got confused. I saw your screen. I was like, where am I now? Here you go.
Do you go with the Moorish as well, or no?
No.
Because Johnson did I think that was, I can't remember if that was Monday or if that was like a live that he did that
Hmm.
was recorded that I saw. Because there's like the treaty that allowed commerce to take place, I guess, here in the Americas
Hmm.
before that was, I guess, Morocco.
Okay. I've seen
And
that.
The Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Is that what you're talking
that is it.
about?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's it.
Which one should I click on here? Congress,
Wait.
or is that irrelevant?
The first they're the first one, either one, they're all connected.
Hmm. Hmm. This is relatively new.
So since that is on the books, how am I a fraud with fake ID? And I don't have the right to honor my ancestors with my tribe.
This is the. I can't. I don't know what the fuck that says. Chick. Hominy.
Yeah.
What is it?
Chickahominy.
Yeah, our
Chickahominy.
language is not English.
I didn't
Just
Oh,
know.
like
yeah,
just like I mean, just like the word Cherokee. That's a colonized word. It's the tribe's name is not Cherokee. It's Tagali, but they couldn't pronounce it, I guess, and they changed it to Cherokee.
Tagali? That's a language, as
Tagali.
far as I know.
Mm.
That is the name of the tribe. It's not
Really?
Cherokee. Yeah, that's a proper term. I'm a Tagali member as well, out of South Carolina.
I grew up around a bunch of ho chunk, is what they go by, but other
Okay.
they might be called like Winnebago or oh god.
Yeah. So so many different treaties. There's tons of treaties that have not
Mm-hmm.
been recognized, and I'm enforcing it.
That's good.
As well as the land patents. So
Damn, I got the whole fucking history of this shit, man.
I'm guessing that's what they wanted to burn when Black Wall Street, or what's got to be known as Black Wall Street.
yeah,
All those land patents.
yeah. There's actually millions of records in the tunnels underground.
Yeah, there was something that surfaced fairly recently that Elon's Doge,
Mm-hmm.
like they were kind of laughing about it because it's a giant. I think it was like a limestone quarry or something. Basically, it's a mountain with a big tunnel in it or a big
Yeah,
open thing, and they have books
yeah.
or not books, boxes in there
Of
that go
records, yeah.
back 200 plus years.
Yeah.
And there's not that many people that work there. So you put in a request and they get to it when they can, but it's just rows and rows of shelves with boxes on it with
I would
historical
like
documents.
I would like
Where
to
is that
take a
at?
good
Where is
group
that
of
at?
I would like to do a major
Hmm.
field trip of
Where
with
is
my
that
tribe to
at?
go claim our records.
Please.
I want to say like Kentucky. I think
Yeah.
I put the disclaimer. I think, but that's kind of the general area.
Yeah,
Let
I'm
me
trying to
see.
remember. I saw it somewhere some years ago, and I immediately became enraged. I want my records. My trust owns every part of my ancestors and our histories down to our DNA. So no one has the right to hold this without my permission. I need to retrieve it. Just like religion is it? The Mormons have our records. The U.S. government
Mm-hmm.
gave them our records as well.
They have like the arguably the most complete records of anybody for genealogy.
Yeah, and they need to give it up. It's not theirs. It had a lot to do with taking the children and claiming to taking them to school to educate them, and they were experimenting on them and killing them.
Our government has been horrible with a bunch of stuff.
Mm.
God damn it, I always be fucking citing other shit.
Are you down the rabbit hole?
I can't even fucking.
Find your way
God
back
damn
out.
it. I gotta type it in here. What does that say? The Act of August 15th, 1953, 67 Stat 588. I can remember that. 57.
Rumor has it the government put 146 trillion aside for the tribal families, and it's not been claimed until one of the Scandinavian so-called tribes went to Congress to fight to get some of that money. I think they got about 8 billion of it in about 10 years ago.
Oh damn, that's fucked up. This is right here.
Let me see if I could find that for you.
Damn.
Really, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's
All
why some of them are
individuals
being deported now.
within state
They
except
didn't like that they outsmarted them at their own games, so they're deporting them.
Deporting. Oh, say that again, please. Deporting to
Uh,
where?
the well, they're Scandinavian, you know. They're
Oh,
not
so
copper Indians. They're not American Indians. They're Scandinavian and Pan Asian.
exactly. I got you.
Section
Well,
2
are you talking
prohibits
about like
sexual.
Leif Erikson, or because they're
I'm talking about reservations with these tribes that are so-called recognized and controlled by Congress.
okay, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the BIA stuff?
The
$5.
Because there's
yes, $5
fairly
Indians.
concrete evidence that, call them Vikings or whatever, Scandinavian, made it their way here way before, other, call it European or
They were brought in after the war. They were brought in
which
after the war.
war are you
So
talking about?
war, I think it's one. They were brought in after to create the American Indian image.
Hmm.
Because that's when we were told we could not claim our heritage. If we did, uh, we get killed or you know pushed off our land and all this here. Here's the lawsuit I have where they sued. Indian trust settlement payments were released in 2012. Let me see if I can capture. How can I cut and paste this in here? Yeah, I could do this all day. I'm sorry, guys. I don't.
No, you're
No,
good.
I can do this too. People ask me like, "What's the latest conspiracy or whatever?"
Ah, gosh. All right, I'm gonna have to give you the title because I'm not seeing how I can attach the document.
Damn.
You should be able to attach a document, right? Let me see.
That's fucked up.
You should be
Hey,
able
y'all.
to
You have a good
upload
night.
it.
You too.
Good
Congress
night.
fucking yeah, you too. Congress literally fucked everyone over. All the Indian country over within this shit.
Yeah,
They yeah, they literally gave the states um complete and total jurisdiction over offenses by or against Indians in the areas of Indian country. Listen the name of the state, and this also applies to the other act that I was just reading. That's why I looked this up, is to see what the fuck because it says nothing in this act to um alter or some shit this and shall actually be enacted upon it. But all civil jurisdiction and all criminal jurisdiction, the states have jurisdiction for anything criminal or civil over the fucking tribes. That's fucked up.
nope, not agreeing to that. I don't
Well,
consent.
no, I know it says here.
No. Why can't I paste this on here?
The consent of the United States by given to any other state not having jurisdiction with respect to criminal offenses or civil causes of action, or with respect to both, as provided for in this act, to assume jurisdiction at such time and in such matter as the people of the state shall, by affirmative legislative action, obligate and bind the state to assumption thereof. Back in 1953, to terminate certain federal restrictions on Indian. Damn, they really fucking.
Did a number.
Yeah, they did.
Like this case here, Cobell settlement is Cobell. Let me see. Let's see if I can get it because it's
That's
not
fucked
letting me
up.
cut and paste.
Well, then no reading.
You know, when you start telling too much truth, these things start acting up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It
here we
is
go.
just uncanny, isn't it? How
Yeah.
at certain times the
Oh,
connectivity goes.
Yes.
Okay, I was able to post some of the topic, Indian trust settlement payments release. So they were fighting this tribe, these tribal members, um, fake Indians, $5 Indians, were fighting the government because they know this money was held, and since the government has them in play, they said, well, since we're in play, let's get some of this money. And they weren't too pleased about it.
You
That's
put it
I
in
believe
the
it's my speculation. That's why they're being deported and going through, like you hear, they're saying their benefits have been cut, their free education's been cut, their medical's been cut.
Well, actually, any if the tribe takes any money from the federal government, that's the prerequisite for the states to trample all over the fucking tribes.
Well,
That's what
Congress,
it says in there. That's what Congress says. Let me see what the next page
well,
says.
Congress controls them. Their budget is given to them from Congress because they're $5 Indians.
See, but y'all talking about two different things. You're
Hmm.
talking about the $5 Indians. He's
Hmm.
talking about what he has up here pertaining to us that
Oh, okay, I
these
didn't see. I'm
laws
still cutting
were.
and pasting.
Yeah, so that's what he's talking about.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that shit's fucked up.
yeah, it is because they chased
And
us
the
out of
only
our.
reason Black Swan that was able to happen was because people were was because of the New Deal with the Social Security card and people signing. Correct?
Mm, no, not it was for taking benefits specifically is what they've been talking about in here. Is
Isn't that taking?
Yeah, Social
So,
Security is a form of
yeah,
take. It's an
that is
insurance
taking
plan.
benefits.
Yeah, yeah, family assistance, including homemaker, home counselors, daycare, after-school care, and employment, recreational activities, and respite care, home improvement programs, the employment of professional and other trained personnel to assist tribal court in the disposition of domestic relations, child welfare matters. Yeah, that's
You
fucked.
see, we're supposed to have our own courts. You see it, tribal court.
oh there
You
kind
have
of
a
is
phone call,
depending
huh?
like there
Some reservations have their own court.
well the
They're
requirement
supposed
to
to.
be a lawyer is waived in tribal courts. Like I have some experience with this with Winnebago tribe in
Mm-hmm.
like Illinois and Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
They can appoint somebody as I guess the equivalent of a lawyer. I'd have to look at it again. It's
Juris.
years
The,
old
the
now.
term is juris,
Okay,
if
yeah.
I'm not
Well, it'd be
mistaken.
like their jurisdiction, right? But who would hold the court? I think it's done by it's a tribal court, but it
Yeah.
has you know,
We have our
what am I
own
trying to say?
officials, supposedly.
Yeah, well, they whatever's going on in that court is binding to at least the the people that are not in the state. Like they can reach out of the tribal court or the tribal jurisdiction. And
That was
long
quick.
story short, a buddy of mine had a child with a woman who was enough Winnebago that somehow she went to
The
the
weight, I'm
Winnebago.
talking about, you quick getting here. The weight was waiting was the hard part.
Somebody needs to mute.
Sorry.
No worries.
Damn,
Continue,
shit's
please.
fucked up. Damn, they be doing some wild ass shit for real though.
I was unmuted, you guys, because I wanted to say something. Please, please, please give me your information because I would love to talk to you off of the chat because you
Yeah.
have so much knowledge, so much. And I'm actually doing
Is
the
this
same
Ashley?
thing. Yes,
I put my information in a message to you in chat.
I do not see it. Yeah, it's not
Really?
showing up.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, yes, I do. It just, I'm so
Okay.
slow.
No, don't worry about it. This is a lot.
Oh, no, it says everyone. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I am not good with this. So let me see.
I have no idea.
So that was Cobell versus Salazar, the case there with the settlement payments, the 8 billion. And have you guys heard of UNDRIP?
What?
What was that?
UNDRIP? It's the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples.
Mm. Oh, you, yeah. Like Minnetonka, what the fuck?
I have a pocket guide that gives you a breakdown because the guide itself is over 300 pages. So I just posted it there.
Yeah, I could sit here and read this shit for too long. No bueno. For real, this is like I literally do sometimes, but like I shouldn't because I
It's
have
a
too
lot.
much shit to do.
It
What
is
do we
a
got going on here? Yeah. So, besides that, how was everyone?
Great, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah,
High, really high.
yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting to hear how Pot Roast was doing.
Uh, and roasted.
Roasted?
Black Swan.
What's good, bro?
Um, question: who would be the person that I would listen to about doing the process of being private?
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well,
What do you what? Okay, sorry, I shouldn't say it so blatant, right? What is your interpretation of what that means? That's a little bit better.
okay, rebuttaling. It's a
No,
rebuttal.
Oh,
Excuse me?
to rebuttal. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You were answering. Okay, my bad. I thought you were asking if I was rebuttaling.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It did kind of seem like that or whatever, but
Because I know it's a process of, from my understanding, of making sure you do it a week in the papers, which in a lot of cities there are no, you rarely see papers, but in counties, I believe you more would. Rebuttaling and then sending the affidavit. Am I correct? Sending,
Um.
the second thing is sending the affidavit, explaining that who you are.
Okay. Let's see what you're saying. So, what is privacy? What is being private? It's not being able to be seen, right?
Yes.
Okay. How can you do that using yourself?
How can you do that using yourself?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Maybe it'll kind of help a little bit. Which well, literal print research time. So I think that's right. No, that's not right. Fucking incorrect as fuck. What the fuck? Yeah. Article 3, to territorial jurisdictions to classify within the grant tort or crime. Congress has the power to extend territorial skills. That's not it.
Yes.
That's not it.
Yeah. What is he looking at?
we got somebody doing dishes or something with their mic on. There we go.
Okay. I don't know exactly what the fuck it is. So like, yeah. I don't remember what it is. I went over it before, but I can't remember where I fucking found it.
We got to kind of deal with this because I came in, wondering what is this correct your status and all that, and the like mindset is part of it. Getting a trust is part of it, and then there seems to be another component that I think has to do with that treaty. I should write this down. The Friends and what is that one again?
The friends and the Treaty of Peace and Commerce or some shit.
Yeah, here I'm gonna look it up. Make sure I
Peace and
got it.
friendship. Peace and
Peace and
friends
friendship.
act.
Peace and friendship. Okay. Yeah. Probably have it written down, actually.
Yeah, they. So if you want to look at what treaties are still active, this is a good one to do. This is just.
Yeah, I think it was 2 Monday nights ago. Johnson did part of it, and then he has a video too. So I'm having a little trouble remembering what. And sometimes he takes like a Monday night and chops up pieces and makes that like a, social media 3-minuter. So I can't quite remember where I saw it or, experienced it. But it has to do with the more and like the you are the living man. Like, and then social media has kind of grabbed that. And I think to like, get clicks or to is like a hook. It's like, do you have your status corrected? And then you got grifters doing their thing with it too.
And so this is all the treaties that are active right now. Treaties in force. This PDF here, I will put this somewhere. Let me see. I'll just drop it in the fucking Telegram. Where is it? I don't know where the fucking Telegram is. Right there. So, if it's not in here, the United States government isn't recognizing it today. Pretty much. That's how that works.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit in here. It's 554 fucking pages, you know what I'm saying? Lots. Ooh, finance. Afghanistan, finance. Diplomatic consolidations.
So is the Treaty of Peace and Friendship active?
Pick it up.
Wasn't it before the Constitution or no?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That's
this
what
would
I
be
thought of. Yeah.
this was like the status
What
of
the fuck? What do you mean,
the
search?
of
The
North
agreement
America
with the
pre
Aboriginals.
yeah, this would be pre 1776, pre I think it's like around the time when Columbus supposedly got here. Like 1492, 1500, somewhere in there.
My grandfather would have been with them.
Yeah, you said your grandfather sailed on,
Argentina.
but he went to somewhere.
No, he was with one. He was with Columbus because King Ferdinand and Isabella sent him as his like guard and shit. Because Christopher Columbus was kind of cum si cum sa.
Well, Columbus left the day after the Jews were kicked out of Spain. They don't really talk about that.
It makes sense because he's supposed to be like Jesuit bloodline or some shit.
It would be a motivating factor to leave too, right?
Yeah. Hypothetically speaking, for entertainment purposes only.
Well, it's probably not written in your McGraw Hill textbook, but yeah.
Yeah. Damn, I'm gonna look over this. This is pretty intense. I don't look at this shit with regret.
I apologize for all the homework that's being handed out.
No, it's all good.
Well, no, this is really good because of tax. See, I look at like trade investments, finance, taxation, shit like that. That's mainly what I'm looking at when I'm looking at these things. I'm like, hey, what the fuck kind of loopholes we got going on here?
Yeah, well, and I saw like Bangladesh. If you're trying to do business with somebody from India, you probably need to know about this treaty.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, also it's like this is an easy place to set up an entity, right? Where are we here? Let's see if I can find the Bahamas.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Yeah.
And
Easy
yeah.
place to set up a trust. And all of these treaties can apply to said trust. But of course, you have to have a foreign trustee.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not applicable. But, if you do have a foreign trustee, it's very, very worthwhile checking this shit out. Or if you know somebody who can be your foreign trustee, it's also very.
Well, or maybe take a business vacation down that way and meet some people.
Yeah, that's kind of my point,
Buy some land.
Barbados. Finance, right? Investment guarantees, really. I'm definitely gonna leave this up. I'm probably gonna fuck with this quite a bit later. But yeah, so that's easy place to get it. I posted it in the fucking group, so you guys can just grab a copy.
Thank you very
But I was
kindly.
okay. So private, right? Um, getting your birth certificate authenticated. First of all, I want to clear this up. Doesn't do anything besides allow you to use that birth certificate as an identification document rather than getting a passport and travel outside of the United States.
Does that still hold up with the
Yes.
real ID and all that?
Yeah, it still does.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this still holds up. But that's what the full faith and credit, people like here, full faith and credit right here, right? It's mainly dealing with the judgments from one state being able to transfer into the next. Like there was a big case here in Minnesota specifically that I was reading quite a while ago actually, but it was in the early 2000s where someone was bringing the fucking full faith and credit clause because they were from another state, but someone else lived here and it was like a $50,000 judgment they received against them, but they dipped out and moved here, so they followed and sued in the court. And of course they won because under the full faith and credit clause, that's how that works, right? So they won their civil case because of that. But it was interesting because the first action was denied because of the technical error, of course, but then they brought it back and won. The only reason why I read it is because I was reading about that technical error. But
What was the technical error? Do
it
you
was
remember?
so it was the signature of one of the fucking judges did not have a countersign. It was a referee that issued the order or whatever the fuck. They appealed it. The appellate court reversed it, dismissed it, and they brought it back. It had
They
to do
just
with
went
the
and got the
signatures.
appropriate signature and refiled.
Well, yeah. Well, no, they didn't do anything wrong. The court did, and the other party pointed it out. So when a referee issues an order, right? If they're not like an actual judge and they're just a referee or a hearing officer, they're not an elected judge. In order for that judgment to have the full force and effect of law, it has to be countersigned by an actual judge that's elected.
I'm not familiar with the referee concept.
Are you serious? Oh,
Yeah.
damn. That's like every consolation court is a referee. Every housing court's a referee. Every administrative bullshit's a referee. like if you go family court typically is referees.
So is that like mediation and arbitration?
Yep.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yep. It's literally under the arbitration code of your state too.
Okay.
Yeah. Or mediation. They
I
just don't
did take
disclose it as that.
I took the same thing. I never got the certification. I couldn't believe it. The lady that teaches mediation and arbitration for the state of California also teaches a college level class called mediation and arbitration. But she neglects to tell you that that's the exact same book and everything, that you could go take the test right afterwards or whatever and be certified. Didn't know that until like a year or two later.
Yeah.
That's like a referee. I get it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they don't have authority to actually issue a judgment and have the full force of law.
Yeah, totally. It would make
Yeah.
sense. And a lot of that.
But if you don't challenge them on it after a certain amount of days, it does obtain the full force of law.
Okay.
You know
Yeah.
that.
Because
Typically, it's like 10.
10 days.
Yeah, you have to get a judicial review.
Yeah, okay. Because then
That's a
it's
prerequisite
binding
to
if you don't
appeals.
challenge it. But you
Yeah.
go there first, and then if you don't like the outcome or whatever, you can take it to a real court.
Yeah,
Be like,
pretty much.
look, we followed procedure.
Well, it's actually mandatory. It's typically mandatory to go there first. Like they don't like, but you can immediately file to remove the referee and have a judge hear your case immediately. Yeah. Which then, of course, they have to have a judge. It's mandatory. It's not discretionary.
It's interesting.
Yeah, but so yeah, the birth certificate shit getting authenticated is bullshit. Doesn't do anything for you. In that sense, you're not taking ownership of the birth certificate. There's nothing to take ownership over. If anything, you'd want to fucking figure out the policy number for your goddamn insurance contract. That's actually considered confidential. So every time you get your birth certificate, none of those numbers on there are going to be shit. Same with the certificate of live birth. None of the numbers on there is going to be your policy number. It's considered proprietary protected government data. It's actually also considered the technical term for the number is the group purchaser's number because you're getting thrown in a pool.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a group purchaser's number. Yeah, it's and there are securities attached to it, but it's mainly annuities. And they're invested into mutual funds and all sorts of other shit. But that's the insurance, and yes, there is a payable on death clause too that goes to the state, sadly.
But what is it? The numerator? What is it? You
The
can
Numinant record, yeah, I know.
Yeah, you can get a copy of your record.
That's just the
That
Social
means,
Security, though. That's not what I'm talking about. You
yeah,
have
don't pay
two
me no, don't
insurance
pay me mine.
contracts.
I'm over burnt out over here.
Yeah, no, but I feel you. Shit.
I'm picturing numbers on the back of a document. Don't pay me any mind.
No, so there's two insurance contracts that get taken out, one on the federal level and one on the state level. The one with the annuities and shit is on the state level. Like Minnesota's Securian Financial, which used to be Minnesota Life Insurance, but they changed the name to Securian for some reason, probably to hide whatever. But that's who insures the bonds, that they issue.
I've seen people on social media pull up something where there's a document and it says something to the effect of like the man or some effect like that with arms and legs.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's just a UCC document.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that anybody can file that. I could literally go and file the same exact document tomorrow, and they would still have to put it on public record, even if I didn't have the authority to put those names on there. All the UCC1 financing statement is a public notice. That's it. It doesn't perfect an interest in the security at all. It's literally just a public notice.
I've seen where they're like, you're being traded on a
I
stock
know.
market.
Of course
blah,
you
blah,
are.
blah. Yeah.
Yeah, bullshit.
It's a great hook. It got my attention.
Oh, of course it does. It did me too before I knew.
Is anyone else's line breaking up terribly?
Huh?
I have a lot of static and feedback on your call right now.
Yeah,
that's
your
weird.
voice has got a bunch of static.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's too much truth again.
Oh, that's weird.
You hearing that too, Swan? She sounds
Kinda.
all pixelated or
A little bit, yeah.
digitally scrambled like that.
I don't know. I can find my shit.
Hey Swan, how about the way that Anna von Reitz says in some
Run.
publications about
Just run.
signing the birth certificate and sending it back in or something?
Yeah, run.
Run. I
Run.
figured as much. I thought I'd ask.
Run, literally. Fuck. I have to find the case. I have to find it for Johnson. Actually, I forgot about that. I have an old case with Anna and fucking David Straight from a long time ago when they were like a crew before they split up, you know. And everyone that they were together with went down. They all got prison time, except for those two did not. And then right after they split groups and created new groups, but pretty much teaching the same exact shit. And they weren't touched again ever since, which is kind of odd. I mean, they fucked with David's
Informant.
wife, but you know, they never fucked with Anna, which very interesting.
That makes more sense. Since you told us about the imposters posing. So thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
the diabolical nature of encouraging people to do things they don't do, but then getting all their info and filling out the paperwork to
Yeah, you guys
the
gotta be
5-letter
careful
F
out here,
word.
though. You gotta be very careful out here. I know there's a bunch of new people in here tonight, so like, I don't know if a bunch of people left. Probably, I don't know. Yeah, there's 17 now. There was like fucking 30 something.
Someone tried to scam me this morning.
But if anyone's in here who hasn't heard this yet, this is fucking insane shit. But you have to be very careful on who you fuck with and what they're telling you, because some of these people out here are literally getting paid off of helping you do your taxes to commit fraud just so they can file a whistleblower report on you and collect when the feds come and get your shit.
Get out.
I'm being for
this
real.
blew my mind.
30%. They get 30% cut.
But they'll charge people
They'll charge
to do
you
the
for it, too.
paperwork,
They
have
will.
you to show you how to commit fraud, let people get a big payout, and probably continue to help them and even grow funds and build businesses and do whatever. But then after a couple of years, when it catches up, they get a third of whatever is seized.
Yeah.
So it's in their interest to help you get rich and, buy properties and do all this shit.
Yeah,
It's like the most messed up, diabolical thing I could have
You
come
know
up with.
what's interesting is that after I got home, I did some digging, and I found that there is a application to be an informant.
Yeah,
for
there
the
is.
city, and you get paid just like you
Yeah,
said.
you do.
Wait,
All
where'd
depending
you
on the
find this
size of
application?
it's
There's
in
so
like
many of them.
yeah, you just have to like go through the city website and just like look through the city council application for employment type of shit.
Yeah, and it's under assets normally. It's either under assets or informants or yeah, it's serious shit. They do pay you well
Yeah,
too.
and you like literally have to like go out of the county to have the meeting with the person that you're doing the informing for. And then you come back in the county and then inform on them because, like you said, you have to have two witnesses that say you were in the city limits or whatnot. I just thought that was crazy. Like
But
you,
they do that shit all the time. It's nothing new.
That is a tragedy. Like
Yeah,
you're
it's
taking
fucked up.
advantage of people like
And they're
all the
charging
way
people.
around the table. And then I'm catching a case and I'm going to jail. But you
Informants
get
make
Listen.
over $100,000 a year in LA.
Besides the land thing, the American Indian thing, your ancestry. I'm not. I know a little bit, but I'm not like fluent. Obviously, because there's a lot of shit that I got to read now too. But when it comes to this like sovereign movement, I guarantee you, I probably know every single thing you can imagine about it. I've been in this shit for a long fucking time.
Well,
a
see, the
long
word
time.
sovereignty has been misused and turned into a misnomer. I think, to keep people from uh, obtaining their rights. A sovereign
Well, you
citizen is a
have your
misnomer.
rights.
There's
Well,
You
no such thing
Citizens
as a sovereign
United in the
citizen.
90s, they filed like I watched it happen. Um, they tangled up the courts with lawsuits, and the term paper terrorist got
yeah.
invented, and they put sovereign citizen on like problem people. It was like they did the same thing with conspiracy theorists after JFK. If you weren't like accepting the Warren report and
But
challenged it openly, you
there's no
became
sovereign
labeled.
citizen. Sovereignty is a law. It's not a citizen.
Well, and sovereign
So
citizen is an oxymoron.
that's what I'm saying. It's a misnomer. Same as black and African American. That's not a nationality. That's property.
Well,
That's
black was a
Well,
legal status
actually,
that meant you couldn't own land.
well, yeah, it was deeper than that actually. So back fucking um I know this is applicable in like especially the early 1700s and also throughout when they were referring to black and white back then, white did not mean a color. They were
no.
not talking about color, they were talking about people who were enlightened. And then black meant like you were in sin. It had nothing to do with the color at all whatsoever.
It's misnomers. It does not define white people. We're
No, it doesn't.
aboriginal
Yeah.
and indigenous.
It still
So this
doesn't.
whole we were threatened with death if we claimed our indigenous heritage. So they can bring in these $5 Indians. So for them to it's this whole sovereign citizen is another smokescreen to keep us from finding our sovereignty.
Right.
Because it's not taught in the church house. Please believe me. That church house is sponsored by the Vatican, and it's to keep us out of our rights and our gifts and our talents.
Better say it.
Yep.
I agree with that 110%.
I have an
So this
interesting
whole
theory.
so when you say I'm the one who I stated I was attacked on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge because I had a private and diplomatic tag on my car, and they didn't like it. And the officer banged on my window, screaming, "We're not going for that YouTube sovereignty citizen shit."
Of
I didn't
Mm.
say.
course.
I never said it. I never opened my mouth. Sovereignty's not on my plates. Diplomat and exempt is on my plates. The code of how I have the affidavit and a fee schedule for trespassing that says to stop my car outside of an emergency where everyone on the road is being stopped is $10,000 per minute. To stop me, to stop me is $200,000 per 10 minutes because equity, harming equity, has a remedy, and
That's a
I get to
pretty aggressive
define it.
fee schedule.
You fuck with my rights on my land, I get to do it as I see fit.
Sure. Yeah.
'Cause this is my land. I'm the descendant of the original owners of this land. And I don't care how they play with words, how they twist that shit around, I'm enforcing it.
And so what
That's why
happened?
I'm the fucking chiefess.
So what happened from that incident? You're still going through it?
I'm still fighting it because they refuse to give me discovery.
You have to
Mm.
subpoena. They don't have to give you discovery. You have to
I
understand
did
how court
subpoena it
works.
last year.
Last year,
Mm.
you did subpoenas last year?
Yes, and the assistant attorney general claimed there's no such records.
Interesting.
What did
Put
you
it in
subpoena?
writing. Yeah, he said there's no such records. They
No,
don't
but
hold
what did you
records.
subpoena?
I subpoenaed everything: the police files, records, logs, video cam, everything.
Well, then why didn't you move to dismiss? They don't have anything.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is if you did a subpoena, you did it right,
Yeah, yeah,
procedurally,
yeah.
and they said they don't
It's
have
on
anything,
record.
well,
Yeah,
then you motion to dismiss the case.
Is
I
that
did.
Maryland?
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah, you
Because the
motion
Chesapeake Bay Bridge are kind of in between, right?
Yeah.
if they don't
Well,
if they don't have
yeah.
any competent evidence to prove they have standing or even prove that anything happened, you dismiss the fucking case. As simple as that.
Well,
Right.
she's taking the case to them, right? Or is it the other way around? Am I misunderstanding?
What was that?
You're the one bringing the case on them, right?
No, they brought a case on me.
Mm.
Yeah.
And one of their officers said, because they confiscated my car and my property and everything. I actually they damaged my phone. They slammed my phone down and broke it. I have bruises from when they yanked me out of the car because I was not, since he approached my car banging, screaming those things, and he's not going for this YouTube sovereignty citizen bullshit, I wasn't moving. So I asked for a supervisor. They used an air pump to pump my door open and to break me out of the car and rip me out of the car and harassed me and injured me. So I have physical injuries from it.
You didn't record this on the phone?
Yeah, I had my whole embassy on the phone listening to it, communicating with the officers. That's why they slammed my phone down to try to break my phone to get them off the phone from them hearing.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
I was told I was stopped because I was traveling 59 miles an hour in a 55 zone. But they didn't know I was trailing my friend who was right in front of me, driving 56 miles an hour. I'm behind her. How am I doing 59?
It looks like you could have a huge lawsuit on your hands if you know how to weigh it.
Yeah,
I do.
and this, like he said, file a motion to dismiss because they don't
I
have
already did.
any.
They're ignoring everything I filed.
Well, are you doing it procedurally? Because
Yeah.
okay, how do you file a motion?
I typed it up and I took it to filed it and asked the clerk to put it on record.
Okay, but what goes with the motion?
You want the cover?
No, just in general. What do you file with the motion?
I have to look at my files, my documents.
Yeah, when you file a motion, you have to file a memorandum of law in support of the motion, an affidavit in support of the motion with any possible exhibits that you have cited as true and correct within the affidavit, and a certificate of service. That's called a motion package. If you don't do that, they will ignore every fucking thing you put on that record.
And a notice of motion.
Well, yeah, that's after you get a hearing normally.
I think I put a demand. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if it was a motion or a demand because in my position, I demand, I don't motion because I come in as a special appearance, not.
But I'm saying if you want to win, you're gonna have to beat
Yeah.
them at their own
This is
procedures.
true. This is true. I have the affidavit. I have to look and see if there's a memorandum that makes. I'm trying to recall. I do remember seeing one, but I'm not remember if it was on. I'm gonna double check my motion.
And the memorandum has to be loaded in case law that backs
Yeah.
your position.
Your affidavit's going to be your declaration. That's another word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have affidavit for every damn thing. Yeah, I'm gonna double check it.
But yeah, that's because if you don't file it according to the procedure, they're not gonna fucking recognize it. But if you do file it to the procedure, then they have a certain amount of time they have to rule on it.
Have you heard about this, or are you aware, anybody, of a service that it's like you've got a lawyer, what am I trying to say here, on retainer? It's a legal service. If you're ever pulled over or have any issue, it's kind
It's
of
an
like
app.
Legal Shield. Yeah.
It's an app. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking something like that is kind of mandatory if you're, not 100% compliant or.
Yeah.
What you're just saying, they broke your phone, okay?
Mhm.
So if you had, I mean, you need somebody to be recording it like in the cloud because they could just take your phone and bust the chip or whatever. Now what? You're
Yeah.
done, right?
Yeah, my phone has been having water damage messages since.
Well, but like you said, they threw your phone down. I mean,
Yeah.
did you make it apparent to them that you were recording, or basically you were on the line with somebody, but they weren't? You
Yeah,
didn't
yeah, they
FaceTime or
were.
have them record.
I had it on the car speaker because my
Mm.
embassy was screaming at them that they were violating this, that, and another. Everybody was given their idea of what violations were occurring.
Yeah, that almost sounds like it'd make it worse, though. Because,
Yeah, it
like,
did.
my opinion is the cop is there to put you in jail. The judge is there to sort it out and set you free. The
Yeah.
cops, my dad was a lawyer, not a criminal lawyer or anything like that, but he always advised me to not say nothing, but be,
Yeah.
respectful and, where are you going or where are you coming from? Back that way, whatever. Where are you going? North,
Mm.
south, east, west. No more info than ever needed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, be compliant, whatever, and just
Mm.
try and make the encounter as brief as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they were too hostile for me to do anything. I
Did
just
you
kept
have
asking for the supervisor. I said I'm not speaking to you. Supervisor.
Yeah, and that's fair, but I've seen that in videos go south too, because now
Yeah.
you're kind of, I don't know, decreasing their authority or whatever. Like, I need a,
It was a shit show from the time they pulled up. They followed me out of the toll to come get me. That's what they were doing. They made up some bullshit about I was going too fast. I'm doing
yeah,
54, and they're banging on my window with a baton,
no,
cussing me
that's
out.
fucked up.
Yeah, there's no
Did you have prior encounters with,
no.
no? So they just saw that plate, didn't like it, or ran it, and did you have the Department of Transportation, the DOT numbers on it?
No, I didn't have it on there. I have a DOT registration. I don't know if I need it or not, but
What did it
it's
say? What did your plate say? Diplomat?
exempt. It's
Exempt?
exempt. What does it say? Exempt. Diplomat. Something exempt diplomat.
You
Not
know,
for
you can get
hire.
exempt plates from the state, right?
Yeah, not for hire. No, it's not from the state.
I know, but
Well,
you can. They give
Yeah,
you.
yeah, you can, or you can
Yeah.
get the DOT number, have that put on a plate.
Well, that doesn't
But by
necessarily
rights,
work.
you should have state exempt plates, like
Yeah, you
the.
can get them. They give them to you. If you're actually diplomatic, they give them to you.
yeah, yeah. I seen something recently where I can apply for that, and
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna take a look at it. Yeah,
Do you
Yeah.
know who Brendan
because
Williams is?
I have my own plate since, like I said, I'm a self-governing tribal leader and head of state of my own tribe. So I have my own plates created.
But you're somehow
That's
you
not
have
how it
official
works, though.
paperwork from New Zealand, the Maui.
Yes. Yeah, they kept my
Um,
ID from New Zealand. If you scan that code, that barcode on my ID,
Mm.
it gives you all the information, all the treaties
Working
I'm
and shit.
protected under. Both of my IDs have a barcode that you can scan. It shows all the treaties I'm protected under and under the
well,
UN.
the barcode is what's important because the government that gave that out will run you against the terrorist thing. I'm a whatever citizen of Palau.
Hmm.
My ID, it's a little island out in the middle. Like basically, go to Japan and then just go south, and you'll see a little itty bitty dot. It's there.
Oh
Um,
wow,
yeah, Palau.
nice.
Well, for what it's worth, I used it to KYC with a bunch of foreign exchanges, like money.
Oh,
That was what I was trying to do, is get out from under the SEC and the stupid U.S. rules.
oh okay. But you said, what do you say about use it to some kind of terrorist something? What they did?
Yeah, they run it on, like because there's a database, right? So the
Okay.
official government they'll run your name against the, I guess, international terrorist list or whatever. And if you're good, then you get a barcode. It's like all connected to the
Okay.
international whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So they uh they were um they were gun ho to believe that I thought I was a sovereign citizen. Said no such thing. Never didn't have a conversation with me prior to doing that. They just assumed and jumped because my tags say exempt.
Um, no, I get what you're saying, but was that guy still in here? Who was asking about the private? I forgot about that. You probably left already.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, you're here too. All right. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I have to get off. I should have been off like an hour ago, honestly, because I have
You're
shit to do.
completely fine.
But
Yeah, I was listening.
I wanted to touch base on that first. You know what I'm saying? So the whole aspect. Hold on, I'm gonna switch my shit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and no echo, no reverb.
Cool. My phone was dying. Maybe that's why. But no. Okay, so hold on. There. Okay. All right. So the whole private thing, right? A lot of people don't really understand. Like, you're already technically private. Okay. However, you still have to do things in the public, right? Like, you still got to go places. You're still going to be in the public, essentially. You know what I mean? So if what you're looking for, if you're looking for protection, right, from your conduct in the public, then you do exactly what the rich fuckers do. They do everything through business entities. And one of my favorite things is that you can have shit set up in a way which you being like you gotta drop ego mainly, right? This is the one thing that's so hard for people to do is drop the ego. When I say that, I mean like not like you're like egotistic or anything like that. I mean like the alter ego, if that or something like that, if that makes sense. Um,
Yes.
like instead of like using your birth certificate, because okay, with the birth certificate, with all of that bullshit, if you think these fuckers are gonna give you a fucking penny, you are out your damn mind. You hear what that lady's going through? And it was just a license plate. Imagine trying to get funds from these people. Okay, that's not gonna happen.
You just have to know
No.
how to go about whatever you're trying to do, and
Yo,
like
I
you
know.
explain to her the ways that she should go about it. Because as I was listening, it's just something that she's not doing right, and she once she does cross all her
but,
T's and dots her I's,
but
then
that's not okay. Listen, okay, I got you. I know where you're coming from. I was there before. Okay, it's not like I'm new to this shit. I've been around. Okay, I've been through all of that shit years ago, where I thought that was true, and I went searching and digging and digging and digging. When I say digging, I mean I don't know about you, but I read for 10 hours straight, like a full time job, every single fucking day for 5 years. Okay. That's why I know so much shit. It's not just because, like, I hear other people talk about it. I know what everyone else is fucking talking about, and I know it's all fucking wrong. If you think for a fucking second that any social media platform would let any of the actual truth out, especially when it comes to finance or money, you lost your mind. There's AI crawling on every single one of these social media platforms, and they take down videos instantly. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, it doesn't matter where the fuck you are. Maybe you could get away with it on X. Maybe. But like that's still like, you know. But your birth certificate, you know, the birth certificate is being pledged. It's pledged, right? They already spent the money that they received from it. They're not holding on to that money anymore. All that's left is insurance. They done spent it all. That's how they fund their operations. They use the people's future interests in all of the property that they're gonna accumulate throughout their lifetime, that they're gonna end up registering to the state. And they do this by using the mortality tables and other type of amortization tables, okay, there's a whole fucking huge paper, multiple papers on just that, just research papers on that. If you look into the like how the insurance mortality tables work and shit like that, there's a lot of information there that tells you all this shit. But that's what they're using to base your future interest off of, like how much taxes from the point in time that you were born up until the retirement age. And they base it off of what your parents made and their parents made. That's how they're able to use that value as collateral. Is they have to go off of the family line, because that's typically how, you know, like if your parents come from money, typically you're going to end up making a lot of money. If you don't come from money, typically you don't end up making a lot of money. Typically. Not always, obviously, but typically that's what they use. That's literally what they use as the one of the main factors when they are seeing how much value you're going to bring them throughout your lifetime. And they literally take that value and use that as future interest, which future interest can be used as collateral to borrow against, right? So in order to use future interest as collateral to borrow against, that future interest has to be insured. So that's where the insurance comes into play. That's why they adopted the Social Security system. Isn't new in the United States, okay? Like we didn't start that shit. That started before, and we adopted the International Social Security Administration. We adopted into it. We didn't create that shit. You know, if you didn't know that. Go to the
It was
IS,
already here.
huh?
Right.
Yeah, it was an international thing already.
Who had it first? Somebody explained this. It may have been you, or maybe it was Swan or something, or not Swan. Sprouted Grace.
Hold on. There. I was getting a phone call. Sorry. Hold on one second. Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you.
Okay, I got a fucking message. Okay. So yeah. No, I mean, if you can just look it up. It's ISSA, what the fuck is it? Just go International Social Security Administration. I have the whole history there. I can't fucking remember who started it.
I got it.
Yeah, it was like more than 10 years before the United States adopted it. But besides that fact, the whole aspect of thinking like that we're dealing with the mafia, right? You got to put yourself in their shoes. If you were a mob boss and one of these little motherfuckers who's supposed to be bringing you money isn't, are you going to give them money? Serious question.
That'd be a giant hell no.
Right. That's just reality, right? But there is a way that the wealthy people carved out for themselves. Okay? And they did that through the 14th Amendment. They carved the way out because they knew people, if they even found out anything, they would fall for this. That's why they started this shit back in the fucking, 50s, I think was the first time they started doing this shit.
Well,
It wasn't.
I think it was 1902 is when the birth certificate started.
No, I'm not talking about the birth certificate. I'm talking
And
about
then the New Deal with
1941.
Roosevelt. Yeah, it was the 40s.
No, 1941 is when they I have the session laws, like the actual physical copy, and for Minnesota, but it also relates to the the federal law. that allowed the states to do this. It's to borrow against the future interests of our lives, pretty much. Like I have the actual physical session laws. Like it's not it's paperback kind of, you know? It's literally just like a big ass stack of old ass paper from the 40s.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's a session law. So that is positive law, we'll say. Like your your revisor of code online, that's not considered positive law. Meaning all of the fucking shit that you see online can be rebutted by the session laws. Every single one in every single state. Also the revisor of statutes, all of that shit is copyright. Which that's a whole nother subject for another time, but that's why the Bar Association has so much leverage, I swear. But besides that fact, hold on.
So ISSA 4 October
Why, no.
1927 was their creation. If I'm in the right spot, seems like it. 1936, the association becomes the International Social Insurance Conference, known as CMOS. And dealing with disability, old age, and survivor insurance.
Yeah. But anyways, like I was saying, 1941 is when they actually started to leverage it, but like, you know, started to actually borrow against the future life and creating these tables and to have statistics to go off of, because if you know anything about like how to get business funding, you can do the same exact thing, right? So you can take say a very well drafted business plan, as long as you use like Statistica. That's a very good website and is acceptable as fuck by financial institutions. You have to pay for it, of course, but it has statistics and future fucking projections for pretty much anything you can fucking imagine. It's an amazing site. But you can use those statistics within your business planning, right? And also, like, not only that, if you're gonna buy a business that's already running, this is like a little bit more advanced. You have to kind of already know what you're doing and like know how to talk to these people. But buy a business that's already running, right? You can use that business as collateral, especially if the business isn't being ran by anybody like big corporate. You know what I mean? If it's a mom and pop shop, I guarantee they don't even know what the fuck accrual accounting is. Okay, and accrual accounting is the main mechanism where you can use, like, I guess, creative accounting or different types of book entries with different journals. You know, like, if that makes sense. You can create a chart of accounts. I don't know if you know what the fuck I'm talking about, but the accounting is beautiful. I'll just say it like that. Okay. And also, you don't have to use GAAP. By the way, a lot of people have this misconception that GAAP is a requirement to be used. However, you can easily go through the SEC documents and see all of these institutions that are non-GAAP. They don't use GAAP at all. And they disclose that within their SEC documents. So everyone trying to say, oh, the GAAP accounting. Yeah, you're tripping. That doesn't even fucking matter for the most part, most of the time. But anyways, irrelevant. The whole aspect of thinking that getting this magical pile of money through your birth certificate isn't going to happen, and it never has happened, because it can't happen. It's a restricted stock unit held by the DTCC. It's a restricted deposit. Okay. It's pledged to back the debt they borrowed. That debt gets repaid when you pass away because of the insurance contracts. Payable on death clause will trigger and go straight to the fucking DTCC who created the funds in the first place. Ever since the 70s. Now, I mean, I guess technically if you're born older than the 70s, then I guess it could be different. But yeah. So there's another way though. This is what I keep saying. The whole being private. If you think you're going to get immunity, I mean, it's a little bit different with that, tribal immunity thing. Like I can see where that could be having grounds, especially if you have international recognition, you know? But they still don't give a fuck here. She's still dealing with this shit and they're not even caring. She's still in court, they're challenging it and like she's still going through the shit because they don't give a fuck. That's the problem. This shit isn't being done by consent anymore. So your status, they don't give a flying fuck about your status anymore. It's a sick, sadistic, fucked up system that they do everything by force. And it's all about fucking extracting as much revenue out of you as they possibly can. But there's a way out. There is a way out. And there is ways to discharge that. But you can't do it with yourself. You have to do it through a business. That's the only way you can actually do it. I mean, sure, there are strategies where you can fucking alleviate debt off of you, but you have to know how to do these strategies very good, and you have to also know how to talk to the right people in finance to do it. Like if you don't know what a debt extinguishment is, you should probably look into that, especially in combination with cancellation of debt. But then you also got to realize that if you cancel a debt, that there's going to be a tax liability attached to that, and you have to report that tax liability on your fucking taxes. Otherwise, they'll come after you for that eventually, especially if it's a substantial amount. Like, say you fucking cancel out the debt associated with your house, and it's like $400,000. You really think the IRS is going to just let that slide? They're the mafia too. They don't give a fuck. There's no exemption for that. That would be considered capital gains. That's what they would consider that. That would be considered a capital gains tax. And the capital gains tax, yes, they are going to get their fucking money, one way or another. Now, of course, there is another way out of that situation too. If you are purposely defective, or I mean, if you are insolvent, there's a form that's 982 that you specifically use in combination with the income that you have to report from a cancellation of debt on a 1099-C. But you can't issue the 1099-C. That's fucking fraud. So you have to know that you have to send out a debt extinguishment letter to someone that is versed in this type of financial realm, right? Most likely someone like one of their general counsels or tax accountants. One of those people would know what the fuck's good. And it's literally just taking a liability off of their balance sheet because it's most likely a non-performing asset. If you're trying to discharge it because you don't want to pay it and like defaulting, or if it has defaulted, it's a non-performing asset. These assets are being securitized. When they have a non-performing asset within a securitization trust, it's less money for the senior bondholders. Those senior note holders or bondholders get paid less money when there's more bad debt within the securitization trust. The more non-performing assets there are, the less they get paid on fixed income, because that's what they do. It's all fixed income, which you can read about in the Fixed Income Clearing Corporation documentation, because that's where all that information is located. Now, The NSCC is a good one too. That's the National Securities Clearing Corporation. That's a good shit to read as well. But I mean, the mortgage-backed securities division part of the DTCC is where majority of like all mortgage-backed securities are actually being gone through. Like they put in, that's where they go, and then they create these mutual funds, and then everybody who has a job and has a retirement account, guess where they're fucking investing their funds in without even knowing it? Those fucking mutual funds. It's just a big fucking racket. It's a big pyramid scheme, but there's a way that you can play the game correctly and not go to fucking prison for doing some fraudulent shit. And it's not that hard to do. You just can't do it by yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like, that is like private to me isn't, it's like being a ghost, right? Like you have a corporate identity as a shell to take all the liability for you unlimitedly. And that entity doesn't own anything. You're just an employee of that entity, which then brings up the fucking doctrines that come in play, just like the government uses with the sovereign immunity bullshit. The reason why you can't sue a fucking judge or you can't sue the prosecutor and you have to sue the municipality itself is because they're fucking employees. Just like Walmart. You don't sue the fucking employee of Walmart, you sue Walmart. So then if you're just doing your job as an employee of an intentionally defective entity that doesn't own anything but has shit through leased agreements from another entity, who the fuck's taking the fall? You or the entity? They're not going to go against their own fucking law that all the rich people use to eliminate their liability. You think they're going to make precedent about that? That'll destroy the fucking entire United States. They would all move in a heartbeat. So there's a way to play the game right, and then there's a way to do it with what everyone says on social media. And that is not a winning game. I've seen way too many people go down. Or too many people that were about to go down, but then flipped. Or, I guess, just walked away, you know. But all their friends went down. They just happened to, you know, not go down. Like, maybe Yusuf, you know, could have been a part of that. There's quite a few people, actually. You'd be surprised of all the people that you watch and shit on these social medias. A lot of them. Not all of them. That's why I fuck with Johnson, because he's not like that. But majority of them, because I'm very verbal about this shit. I don't give a fuck. I say it how it is. Because I've been through all this shit. I know all this shit. I know exactly where everything is, and I know why I can't get it. I know why it's not possible. It's not even like a fucking question. Because I already went through all this bullshit for years trying to figure it out. And I did figure it out. I found out the fucking bottom of the rabbit holes and how the fuck the shit works. Who has what, where, what is, and everything. And it's nobody fucking does that type of research. I haven't seen anybody even know close to how it actually works, yet say it on social media. It's all just bullshit. But with that, I yield. Sorry. I was just going on with a little rant.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. My bad. I get carried away sometimes. Because this shit pisses me off, you know what I mean? Like, you have a lot of people out here that are, like, desperate, or maybe not desperate, but, like, they just have good intentions, right? And they're following people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and it's only going to make you in a worse position than if you never would have found out about the shit in the first place.
Yeah, a lot of people want to believe.
You said, go on, buddy. Go on.
You go. I pretty much said it. You know,
I was going to say the one that you said got away. He pretty much be knowing what he be talking about.
No, he doesn't. Yusuf El. He even tells you. He will tell you. I know who the fuck that is. I also know 9 Ether really well too. You know his boy 9 Ether? I'm sure you know who he is.
Yes, yes.
I'm friends with him. I know him. He knows his shit. But he doesn't agree with what the fuck he says either. And Yusuf will even tell you, I don't do any of these things, you do. He even discloses it to motherfuckers, and people are too stupid to see it.
Yeah, I heard that on a thing the other week. He said, I don't personally do this. I'm
No.
not sure which guy it was, but it was on social media. That was very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, fucking Yusuf will disclose it to people now. He's been doing this shit for like 20 years. He will disclose it to you, but he talks in such a smooth way, nobody picks it up unless you really can tell. But he says it straight out. I don't do any of this shit, you do.
People just want to be free so bad, and they
I
don't
know, and
pay attention.
he makes bank off of all these people. He makes bank off of all these people and still lives in an apartment. So I don't know how much bank that really is then, huh?
That is a tragedy.
Because if he was such a secured party creditor and he was such the guru, why is he living in a fucking apartment? Just wondering.
Right, and that's
If
the
he's
first
got
thing.
access to all this money, then
Right.
where's his Ferrari or his Lambo? You know he'd have one. Where's his
I
Rolls Royce?
concur.
I could see him
I
seeing in a Maybach.
concur. I've been
But
asking that. I
everybody
concur.
is not just about the money. You know what I'm saying? Like my man said earlier, it's more
He
about
goes
the
on
mindset.
vacations
It's
all the
more,
time.
That might have been, we looked one guy up, and he had stuff in England. I can't remember the guy's name, but he had all these bank accounts, and they're going after him. He's got like 305 pounds that he can spend weekly, which gives him, that's like $1,500 a month that they'll let him use. But yeah, lots and lots of luxury goods and stuff like that was what they were talking about. They got a big case on this guy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I can't remember which guy it was now.
But no,
Couple
like seriously, there's so many gurus that like I've destroyed. Like a lot of people follow that Rourke guy. He hasn't won a single fucking case. He's from Minnesota. His actual name is Edward. Rourke is
Who is
his
it?
middle name.
Who did you say? Mork?
Rourke.
Rourke?
Yeah,
Mm.
big equity guy. Preaches it like he knows his shit, right? He hasn't won a single fucking case. I looked up his entire record in Minnesota. Hasn't won a single fucking case. Not one. These people are out here like fools everywhere.
I just want my damn land back.
Yeah, I know you're cool. I got you. No,
I just want my land
you
back
got some
and start
grounds though, you
growing.
know what I'm saying? Like
I
you
want to
actually
grow.
have grounds with it because like you're looped in internationally.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different here,
I got to
you
pull the
know?
UN in this as well.
What's your plan? You said you want to
okay, thank
grow.
you, everyone. Have a good night.
Yeah, I want to grow the produce. I'm a wellness uh, brand and company, and I want to grow the produce
Yeah,
that
I'm
I
still
get the seeds
smoking.
for internationally,
No, I'm
so
serious.
I can
This is
help
the same one.
control some of this
Hmm.
disease, this lifestyle diseases we're suffering from. I mean, we have
Right.
6 customers in remission of cancer from my sea moss and teas that we have from around the globe. I get teas from the Amazon rainforest, from the islands. I have orders in Norway, United Kingdom,
I
uh,
swear.
the
Some
what is it?
people
Yeah,
just
I've done
don't
some of
want to
that.
hear the
Gotten
truth.
like vines and seeds sent to me. Um,
Yeah,
for research purposes only or something it says on the package. But yeah.
I want us to restore life and health. I'm
Well, and the
bringing back,
natural.
yeah,
The,
bringing
the,
back the ancestral remedy. Our
yep.
hospitals are supposed to be in our kitchen.
Absolutely.
I agree with that for
Yeah,
sure.
so
Well, and
that's
the creator gave us what we needed. We just got to put it in the
everything.
right combo.
But all right, guys, I gotta wrap it
Exactly.
up. I
All right,
definitely gotta
guys.
wrap it up. But It's just crazy
Everyone,
to me how some people just don't want to hear the truth, you know?
or
Right.
they're programmed.
Well, see, it's funny because like you're indoctrinated when you go to public school, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But then you learn about this shit. You start to get unindoctrinated, but really you're just getting re-indoctrinated into something worse. That's
Yes.
all it is.
Well,
It's
if you're
just
drinking,
psychological manipulation, yo.
if you're drinking the poison, breathing the poison, wearing the poison, eating the poison, what do you want?
It's bad though. Like people don't
Yeah.
understand that it's indoctrination to almost coming out of indoctrination, but then getting sucked into something even worse.
Which is
So it's
horrible.
it's like an addiction. Do you?
I've
I've
seen
heard.
so many people lose all of their shit, like all of their shit, because they didn't believe me when I told them.
Well, you look at the addict. Look at addiction. I'm told that you really don't lose addiction behavior. You just change what you're addicted to.
Hey,
I
Isn't
yeah.
that what
believe
you
True.
that.
just said?
Cross addict.
Yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly.
Did
Yeah. So
you?
they just changed their poison. That's all.
How do you say that? Bruo?
Brujo, yeah.
Brujo? I can't even. I can't do that.
You can say whatever you want. You can say
I
bro.
can't say
You can
Exactly.
say broho. Broho, bro.
broho. Okay, because I like damn, dude. I can't. I mean,
Broyo. I don't care.
I
Bro.
that like that. Yeah, I can't say that again.
It's brujo, right?
Yeah, see, I
Brujo.
can't. I can't.
Let
I
your
can't
tongue
roll.
roll.
I
Brujo.
can't. I tried. I just doesn't work. It's
It's like brew, like like coffee brew, right?
yeah, I
Brujo,
get it, but I
Jesus.
just brew. Okay,
right?
that's the best I got.
Brujo, right?
Brew ho.
There you
Some of
go,
that
He
you
man.
just
got to
tired.
learn by like age
Fuck.
of 5
Did you read
you won't
that
be able to do
yet?
it.
I'm.
Did
I just got out the shower, bro.
no no when I
Bro,
sent it to you way earlier.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the final copy of that, by the way.
Okay. All right. We on it.
Y'all have an amazing evening. Wishing you all the highest and the best in your endeavors.
You
You
as
as
well.
well.
Thank
Rest
you
to
very
God's
much.
glory.
dude.
Huh?
I said you as well. Rest to God's glory. What time do
Yeah,
you
thank you.
Okay.
roast for lunch or
Okay.
dinner?
No, definitely earlier.
Obviously, I'm
I'll get a
messing.
hold of you soon. I have to
Okay,
call
sounds
someone
good.
back
All
first.
right. All right. You guys have a great night.
What
Right
You
time on
too.
on.
Saturday?
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
7.
Thank you.
7 Central.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks for coming.